between the O's and the Giants should be starting here in just a moment. The actual TV broadcast is on Apple TV. So yeah, might see a few extra people here and there coming to alternate sources, given that the mainstream is, well, not everyone has Apple TV. I should say that. Let me make sure we're in business chat wise and everything. There we go. Yep. All right. Audio's working. And chat's working. Sweet. All right. So we have O's Giants. This is the debut of the new City Connects for the Baltimore Orioles, which have the mix of the like cream white and Camden green, along with like brick orange as well. They look really good. I'm a big fan of the Orioles City Connect, the new ones. I have Shane Baz starting for the Orioles here, going up against Landon Roop. Let me switch around to the box score. Nope, that's not what I did. Where are we going? Can I go to the box score, please? Thank you. All right. So again, for those who have not watched one of my streams yet, I go to the box score because usually my broadcasts tend to be a bit behind the TV broadcast that I watch to actually call the game, because this is basically, think of this as like a radio show with like a bit of extra visual presentation. So the reason why I'm not doing the game cast, which has a bit more visual flair to it, is because it's a lot easier to spoil what happens. I found that out the hard way when I was doing the World Baseball Classic, and it was like I got the first inning and Aaron Judge hit home run, and I knew it before it showed up on my TV. So that's why. Again, box score, it's not too bad. Again, like you could probably just put this on in the background. Radio show, like radio broadcasts of baseball games, I think are actually pretty nice. So yeah, it is. That's what it's going to be here. This game's taking place in Camden Yards. Beautiful Camden Yards. It's a really nice day. I think I saw a tweet online that said tonight Baltimore, Maryland is going to have like the nicest weather of the entire country, just in terms of like heat index and like humidity and all that. But anyway, first pitch to Willy Adames is strike one with a fastball from the former Tampa Bay Ray, Shane Baz. Willy Adames signed from Milwaukee back in December 2024, so he's been on the Giants for about a year and a half now. We'll look at ball one on, I think, a cutter outside. But Shane Baz was acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays for a number of draft picks, or not draft picks, prospects, former draft picks. Next pitch here is down low with a breaking ball of some sort, I think. Apple TV is not telling me what the name of the pitch is, so I might have to go diving into like StatCast or something to find what pitches these guys throw, because I don't know all of them off the top of my head. But yeah, 2-1 count here to Adames to lead off the game. Ball inside on a fastball, so 3-1 here. So Baz got off to an okay start so far. I think he doesn't have a win, doesn't have a loss on his record so far, as he will throw a fastball popped up into foul territory over by first base. That is Pete Alonso making the first out of the game on a pop fly into foul territory. So Willy Adames goes down there. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, so Shane Baz, he's been off to it. Like, there's been a couple innings where it's like been a bit rocky, but it's not been a horrible start whatsoever. And it's not like, there's definitely more you would want out of him, but it's not been bad. He's given the O's good enough starts, and the O's have him for, I think, like 4 years or something like that. Or they just extended him too, so they got him around for a while. Baz throws ball one to Luis Arias on a fastball way up high. Arias, former Miami Marlin, former San Diego Padre as well. was a free agent signing this past offseason from San Diego. He will knock this pitch foul on a fastball high in the zone. Scare some people behind the stands too. But Arias is a bit of a peculiar bat. He's like really good at just hitting singles, but he has like no power to his bat. It's interesting. But he's hitting 320 on the season so far, so that's pretty good. There's ball 2 on, looked like maybe a 2-seamer that was just a bit low and away. And Arias was primarily a first baseman in his career. Is now playing second base, not something he played too much. So 2-1 pitch here to Arias is called strike 2 on a fastball, I think another 2-seamer that just clips the outside part of the zone, outside being right side in this case, as Luis Arias is a lefty batter. And definitely looked like it just clipped it. Arias is not challenging, but it is a very close pitch. So 2-2 to Arias from Shane Baz. This will be his 10th pitch to start the game. And the righty pitcher to lefty hitter in this orange matchup will be outside with another running fastball. Let me see if I can, if I do this. If I go to Shane Baz on Fangraphs, does that say what kind of pitches he throws? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. So anyway, full count here for Arias. He will look at ball 4, takes a curveball in the dirt, and that is first base runner for San Francisco and a walk for Luis Arias. So San Francisco got off to a really bad start. Like really bad start. But they've won, I think, last 3 in a row. So they're on a bit of a winning streak. Orioles actually won the last 3 in a row as well. They, on their 6-game road trip that they had, they got swept by the Pirates. You saw the first game last week if you watched my stream of that. But then they went back and swept the White Sox. So going from Pittsburgh to Chicago, now they're back home to face the Giants. And it's another West Coast team, but I don't remember. First pitch from Matt Chapman is ground in the dirt, fielded by Jeremiah Jackson, gets the out at first and the out at second and out at first. That is a nice double play there, turned by Jeremiah Jackson at second base. The walk is eliminated, and Shane Baz goes through the order 1, 2, 3, sort of technically. Only faces the minimum. That's what it is. All right. So let's see if I can find. Let me go to. I think Statcast probably has it better than Fangraphs for pitch arsenal. Shane Baz Statcast. Or Baseball Savant. That's what I want. Because he has. This is where it has, so. He's got a knuckle curve, 4-seamer, cutter, changeup, and sinker. So I think the sinker's the fastball that moves like kind of right to left, or left to right. Cutter might move the other way, I think. And then who is pitching again for the Giants? It is Logan Roop, who I don't actually know too much about off the top of my head. Oops, sorry about that. Gotta remember not to minimize that tab. But Logan Rupp. I'm gonna go with Rupp. Landon Rupp. They have Logan Webb, Landon Rupp. That's what it is. 12th round pick in 2021. Landon Rupp. Baseball Savant. So what was he got? He's got some pretty good metrics so far in the in Baseball Savant. There's a lot of red there. So he throws a sinker, changeup, curveball, cutter, and 4-seamer. So a good mix of fastballs, and then a curveball. Not too many breaking balls, I guess. So let's see. Does Fangraphs have his current stats? Yeah, played in 2 games. 10.2 innings pitched. Let's see. 4.22 ERA at the moment. So Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, Adley Rutschman, lead off trio. Pete Alonso, Samuel Basav, Dylan Beavers, Leody Taveras, Jeremiah Jackson, and Blaze Alexander rounding out the Orioles order. And it is Gunnar Henderson working against Landon Rupp. Henderson hitting .245 so far on the season, as Rupp steps off for a second. I think we got pitch count issue between Rupp and the catcher for San Francisco. One sec, what's his first name? I don't know off the top of my head. That is Patrick Bailey. There we go. First round pick, 13th overall back in 2020. According to Fangraphs. Let's see, does it have his debut year? I feel like it should. Oh wow, he was called up in 2020. Interesting. I think. Does that work? Is that correct? Am I reading that correctly? I think I am. Oh no, that's initially signed. Anyway, yeah. So now we'll get started with Henderson and Rupp after the pitch count issue. First pitch is grounded over to second base. That is fielded there by Arias. He throws Gunnar Henderson out at first base in one pitch. So Henderson, always usually pretty aggressive on the first pitch, grounds that one out. So a sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter, four seam. They're mostly sinker, curveball. For Rupp, throws a bit of a changeup as well. Barely throws that four seamer. Throws cutter about 6% of the time. Almost said the cursed. The cursed one. So Taylor Ward takes strike one. Ward off to a awesome start. I think he leads the league in doubles. 383 average, 8 RBIs. Does not have a homer yet. So that cutter is yanked way out of reach for ball one. Bam. Ward had a 4-hit day on Wednesday, last time the O's played, including 3 doubles as he takes ball 2 there. Yeah, Ward leads league in doubles with 9. Actually, Willie Adames is second in the league with 7. He's also playing in this game. Ward takes strike 2 on what looked like a changeup at the bottom of the zone. Takes his time here. Man, those City Connects look so good. They really look good. Ward will ground this one over to third base. That is a fair ball. Throw over is... Oh, no, they're calling it foul. Never mind. Looks like it just bounced foul. Matt Chapman made a good play no matter what. But it looked like it was fair, but I guess it wasn't. The umpire obviously has a better view than I do from the TV broadcast. Ward will knock this one high over into left field. That will get foul. It was nice for a second, but that is another foul ball. Ward looks like he got a little bit out ahead of it. Ward traded 1-for-1 to the Angels for Grayson Rodriguez. That ball lands a decent bit foul. But Grayson Rodriguez has been on the IL so far for the Angels, unfortunately. Would love to see him pitch, but unfortunately he is still on the injury list there. Ward, hopefully the O's extend him because he's been great so far. He will knock this one high into the air over into right field. That will be caught by the right fielder, Jung-Hoo Lee. Is it Jung-Hoo or Jung-Ho? I don't know. Let me double check. That is Jung-Hoo. Yeah. So signee from KBO. I'm assuming it's just Korean Baseball League or Korean Baseball Organization. Been on the team for the past couple of years. Makes out number 2 there against the league leader in doubles in Taylor Ward. Adley Rutschman batting left at the moment as a switch hitter. Takes strike 1 on looked like a 2-seamer maybe that ran up over in there. Might have been sinker ball, actually. That's what it was. Will check his swing here on a curveball that is held up for ball 1. So 1-1 for Adley. He's off to a pretty solid start. Looks at ball 2 on a sinker low. He's, again, the power for a lot of the Orioles has not quite gotten there yet. Haven't hit a ton of home runs. This team has, but they're hitting it well overall as Adley swings through a fastball up high. I think that was also a cutter for that one. But yeah, Adley so far off to a pretty solid start. He's had a couple doubles, swinging the bat well overall. So he will knock this one over into left field. That will get down for a base hit. That is a fair ball. Adley's racing over to second. That was like right on the line. And Heliot Ramos, the left fielder, didn't have a chance to play it. Was just kind of hoping it was foul. So there is, right on cue, a double for Adley Rutschman. Looks like that was a sinker that just kind of ran right over the plate. Adley with a nice swing, pops it right over basically to the line at left field, lands just barely fair. That is a double for Mr. Rutschman. That will bring up Pete Alonso, who has definitely struggled a little bit so far this season, just hitting 188. Does have a home run, and a lot of strikeouts. So he will look at ball one on a curveball outside. But Alonso had usually been the regular three hitter for the Orioles. Gets bumped down to the cleanup spot here. But hopefully he can start picking things up as he looks at ball two on another curveball down and away. So certainly a favorable count for the Polar Bear. Second biggest contract in franchise history for the Orioles. 5-year, $155 million deal inked this offseason back in December. So he will look at ball three on a cutter that runs inside. Actually, that might have been a sinker. Yeah, sinker breaks right. I think cutter breaks left. I think that's how it goes. So 3-0 count here for Alonso. Probably not swinging, I'd assume. He will not. Looks at strike one on a sinker that just clips the bottom of the zone. Might have actually been a changeup. One of the two. But still a very favorable count for Alonso. Adley Rutschman on second. Landon Rupp at a good chunk of pitches now. We'll throw strike two. That is, clips the bottom of the zone with another sinker there. So full count now for Alonso. Takes his time. Apple TV does not show a lot of things that I would like. Now it's showing the pitch count at least. So 18 pitches now for Rupp. Has not given up a run yet. Does have Adley at second, but is one strike away from getting out of it. And Alonso has struck out a good bit. Alonso has also not swung the bat yet. It's taken 3 strikes and 2 balls. He will take strike 3 down the middle. There's a sinker that runs right back in. And Alonso definitely thought that pitch was something else as he goes down looking strike-wise. That is the end of the first inning. So Rafael Devers, Casey Schmidt, and Jung-Hoo Lee are up to bat next. Orioles very familiar with Rafael Devers as he was, for a long time, a very good Boston Red Sox, or was on the Boston Red Sox for a very long time and was very good there. Was a surprise trade, or traded surprisingly enough to the Giants last year, early on in the season. So yeah, the Orioles are certainly familiar with him. And we'll see what happens. I feel like Devers hasn't been super spectacular in San Francisco, but the Red Sox did not execute a very good trade there nonetheless. Because like everyone they got back just was not very good. And like half of them they traded away anyway. Like that's just, I don't know why they traded. Well, I know why. It's because they didn't want to pay him, but it's still very stupid. It's just that trade was really dumb. Like that and the Mookie trade was ridiculous. So out of town scoreboard, we've had one game go final already. It was the Pirates and the Cubs. Pirates winning that one 2-0. Pirates 8-5 at the moment. I mean, again, it's mid-April or early mid-April at this rate. So it's not like this is, it's all-star break time and the Pirates are still, doing well, but 8-5, not a bad start for the Pirates there. There's been some real surprises so far in baseball, a lot. Like the Rockies actually aren't too bad. The Marlins might be fun. The Reds are doing really well. And then on the flip side, like the Mariners suck. The Giants suck. The Giants have won the last 3, but like the Mariners have been really bad. The Blue Jays have been really bad. The Tigers have been really bad. It's interesting. The Red Sox also, they've been really, really bad. The Red Sox did win a series against Milwaukee, who was also leading. Like, this season's weird so far, and I kind of like it. Otherwise, out of town scoreboard right before we get back here. Phillies up 4-0 against Diamondbacks. Tigers up 1-0 against Marlins. Angels up 2-0 against the Reds. Twins up 3-0 against Blue Jays. Mets Athletics 0-0. Yankees Rays tied 2. Guardians Braves 0-0 as Boz throws strike 1 to Rafael Devers with a fastball low in the zone. Devers hitting 220, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 638 OPS so far on the season. And big stance there for Devers as he will ground this curveball over to Jeremiah Jackson at second, who will calmly throw out Devers at first. So 2 pitches to get 1 out for Shane Baz to start the second inning. Gave up a walk and then induced a double play right after that in the first inning. So he has faced the minimum so far through 4 batters, though the perfect game is out of question. But yeah, still very early. I'm not predicting a no-hitter whatsoever. Casey Schmidt now up, hitting 280 at the moment. We'll look at strike 1 on a fastball that runs in there, clips the inside part of the zone. So I think Boz is throwing the sinker a good bit. Throws strike there on, might have been a changeup there. It's like a little bit off speed. Again, I'm not the best at identifying pitches. But that was a good pitch there for Boz. And a good count here, 0-2 against Casey Schmidt, the righty. He will throw a fastball. That was a 4-seamer, actually, 98. Or looked like a 4-seamer because it went completely straight. It was just out of the zone. Schmidt does not swing at it. So 1-2 to Schmidt. He will swing through a curveball for strike number 3. And Apple TV was talking about the Orioles starting rotation. So unfortunately, Zach Eflin did in fact have to get Tommy John surgery. That really sucks for him. I'm very sad. I hope it goes well. Hopefully he can come back in 2027 and can still pitch. That'll be nice. Because it's just dude just got the worst injury luck over the past couple of years. But with that, it's the number 5 spot is now a question. It's most likely going to be Dean Kramer, though Brandon Young did pitch a really nice start. He's there as Jung Hoo Lee grounds this one. Looks like that's a fair ball. Just gets past the third base line. Jung Hoo Lee is motoring into second, so there's a double there for Jung Hoo Lee. First hit for San Francisco. So each team with a double so far in the game with 2 outs also on that. That was just a... Looks like that was a sinker maybe that just barely stays fair. It was slicing away towards that third base line in the outfield. No chance for... who is third base for the Orioles at the moment? Blaze Alexander, who was shaded well towards the shortstop side. That brings up Heliot Ramos. Takes ball 1 on a curveball low. Ramos had a pretty solid season last year, hitting 191 though, with 3 RBIs, no home runs either. So he's a kind of a power hitter, but off to a slow start at the moment. I had him on my fantasy team last year, so he's pretty good for me. For like a good stretch at least. We'll look at foul this one off actually. Looked like another curveball. So 1-1. Got a nice shot, really nice sunset over there at Camden. There we go. Just update that real quick. There, Ramos in the 1-1 count at the moment. Was first round pick by the Giants back in 2019. Will swing through a fastball. I think cut fastball for strike 2 at the top of the zone. Yeah, definitely a cutter there. At least I'm assuming that's a cutter. I'm going to call it a cutter. You're going to get my interpretation of pitches for this game. for that one. But that definitely looked like a cutter to me. It was 91, top of the zone. So 1-2 to Ramos is curveball outside. Ramos does not swing, so that is ball 2. But Ramos is actually leading baseball in strikeouts at the moment with 20. Beating out Willie Castro, Matt Olson, and Kyle Schwarber, who will have 19. So that's not a stat you really want to be leading in at the moment. He is primed for a strikeout here at 2-2. Boz looks back the runner, delivers, and that is not swung on. Another curveball outside, running the count full. So Boz threw 24 pitches through an inning and 2/3, and a full count here. Again, he's off to a decent start for the Orioles. Not a like super spectacular start, but a decent one. Has a chance to get out of the inning here on 3-2. Ramos will foul this one away on a fastball high in the zone. After Ramos, it would be Bailey, the catcher. Then I think the final one would be Harrison Bader, former teammate of Pete Alonso. And I think a box score is actually going to spoil it here as to what happens, as Ramos will chop this one in front of home plate. That is called foul. So I think my broadcast is way behind this time. if ESPN is already saying it's middle of the second inning, that means Ramos certainly got out, but that is a chop foul at home plate. Yeah, my stream, because I think it's the Apple TV stream, is even farther behind this time. But 3-2, I think we know Ramos is going to get out somehow here. He will swing through ball there for strike 3. Looked like a cutter outside the zone. There is a strikeout for Boz. That is, in fact, how the second inning ends. At least the top of the second inning for Shane Boz. Gives up one hit, but nothing more. As we move towards the bottom of the second inning. I know we had today, so the Mariners are playing. Actually, I don't remember who they're playing. I feel like have they started yet? I don't know. But the Mariners unveiled a statue of Ichiro Suzuki out front, and there was a bit of mishap where the bat Ichiro's statue was holding actually snapped off when they're pulling the curtain back, which is not great. Not a great look there. So hopefully they fix the statue, but otherwise the statue looks cool. And the Mariners social media intern was having a good fun of it, where they were posting like, because I guess it was also like Ichiro bobblehead night as well, and they like took a picture of one of the bobbleheads and like bent the bat as well. So it's, you know, all in good fun there. But the Mariners are playing at 9:40, so probably won't. This game's probably going to end before that game, I would assume. We're going to be at the very tail end of it when that game starts. But Mariners got swept by the Rockies of all teams. So coming off of they've lost 5 of 6 actually. They lost 2 of 3 to the Athletics, and then got swept by the Rockies. So that is not a great start at all. I mean, they're 6-7 at the moment. So like the first 2 series were good, but after that, like they lost or they split a 4-game series with the Angels. Then they swept the Red Sox, and then it's not been a great week for Houston in baseball at the moment. But also, speaking of the Rockies, they actually have a new minority owner, and the like the Walmart family, essentially. It's the same family that owned the Broncos. They bought, I think, like 40% share of the Rockies. So they're like the largest minority owner in baseball or something, which is, in theory, is pretty good. Might see some more cash there for the Rockies, as Basayo takes ball 1. Showing in the bird bath, it's a Orioles vendor, Fancy Clancy Haskett, who's been a vendor since 1974. The guest splasher for Baltimore at the moment, which is pretty cool. So they're giving him an interview. Basayo took ball 2 there. I think we'll take strike 1 on a ball low. Probably could challenge that one, but it is early. Don't really need to challenge it, but that was definitely a ball. That was, I think, a sinker that ran low. Basayo will knock this one high in the air. Will that get out? No, that's not going to get out enough. Just got under it a little bit. That is caught in center field by Harrison Bader. So 1 out here in the bottom of the second, as Basayo might have been a curveball from Rupp that Basayo just got under a little bit. So yeah, my box score is really far ahead, so I'm just gonna not look at that at all. As Beavers will chop this one over to second base, fielded by Arias, and Arias' throw barely beats out Dylan Beavers. So second 1-pitch, 1 out for Rupp here in the game. So the fancy splash is Fancy Clancy's up there. Like it feels like Spice Girls almost. It's like Mr. Splash, Fancy Splash. Anyway, Leody Taveras, former Texas Ranger, was part of that World Series winning team back in 2023. Takes ball 1 on a sinker that runs way out of there. Taveras, not played in a ton of games so far, is hitting 400 in the games he has played in. Takes another sinker that runs way out of there for ball 2. So Rupp's I feel like he's had a couple issues with command, throwing a good chunk of balls. There's another ball with another sinker that runs way out of there as well. So none of these pitches have been anywhere close to the lefty Taveras. But even still, he's only given Rupp's only given up the 1 hit, has not given up a walk yet. But he's in danger of walking Taveras here in the 3-0 count. And we'll throw a strike there on a sinker that does get in there for strike 1. But again, still 3-1 count. Very favorable here for Taveras, the lefty going up against the righty pitcher. Taveras will knock this one over into shallow right field. That gets down for a base hit. Fielded by Jung Hoo Lee. Almost missed the fielder. That would have been a very embarrassing error, but instead it is a single there for Leody Taveras. Brings up Jeremiah Jackson. And yeah, let's see how. Oops. Stream, don't go too far away. Because I know Jeremiah Jackson is not going to have a very successful at-bat here at the moment. But anyway, Jeremiah Jackson been kind of a rotational guy for the Orioles. Will ground the first pitch over to shortstop, thrown over to second. That is not there. So Willie Adames gets another ground out. That is the third first pitch out for the Orioles tonight. Not great there. We go on to the 3rd inning. It should be Patrick Bailey, Harrison Bader, then the order flipping back over to Willie Adames. Bailey and Bader, neither of them so far having great seasons. Very, very, very poor batting averages there. But again, still really early. So in the meantime, what can I talk about? Anything happen else today? I guess football news. Packers traded Dontavian Wicks to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 5th-round pick and a 2027 6th-round pick. I don't mind that for either team because I think Green Bay's wide receiver room was just getting a little too crowded. And the Eagles could use some depth at the receiver position behind A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They lost Jahan Dotson to free agency, so kind of replacing him as like the wide receiver 3. I don't mind that for Dontavian Wicks there at all. I mean, I don't like the fact that I have to see him in Eagle green now, since I hate the Eagles, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, also Travis Hunter is going to be primarily a cornerback now, and he's going to not play wide receiver as much. So it's like he's not whatchamacallit. He's not doing a 50-50 split. So it's interesting there. Also, I didn't realize actually, but Tyler O'Neill was scratched from the lineup in this game, so hopefully he's okay, but it's Tyler O'Neill. He never seems to stay healthy, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. My broadcast cut out. What happened? Oh no, it's back now. They were just doing a transition, and then transition just went to completely all black, which is kind of annoying. All right. So we're back. Top of the third. Again, I'm gonna just completely pull up a different tab so I don't have to look at the box score at all because it's very far ahead. But it is first pitch swinging from Patrick Bailey, and that is a ground out from Gunnar Henderson to Pete Alonso. So 1 pitch, 1 out there for Shane Baz. Something the O's have been doing a lot on offense, so it's good to get that on defense. So Harrison Bader, very well traveled guy, been on a bunch of teams from what I remember. Takes strike 1 on a pitch. Might have been a curveball, might have been a changeup. In the middle of the zone, anyway. So 0-1 here to Bader. We'll chop this one foul on a curveball. Quick 0-2 count here for him. So Bader played for Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic, if I remember correctly. Done that the past 2 WBCs. Was former Met, I think former Twin as well for a good bit. The 0-2 count here. We'll pop this one high and foul and out of play. Let's see if I go here. Was on the Phillies last year, and that's where he signed from. Started out in St. Louis. Was on the Mets. And was on a bunch of teams. Maybe he wasn't on Minnesota. Takes a curveball in the dirt. Let's go Harrison Bader. What teams did you play for? Not Harrison Ford. Different Harrison. Very, very different Harrison. Pretty cool to see Harrison Ford play baseball, though. That would have been funny. But I'll get to the teams he played for after this pitch here. 1-2 to Bader from Baz is chopped foul on looked like a cutter. That was kind of outside the zone. So Bader was on the Cardinals from 2017 to 2022. Was on the Yankees from 2022 to 2023. Was also, so I guess he's traded from the Cardinals to the Yankees in 2022, then traded from the Yankees to the Reds in 2023. Signed with the Mets, played with the Mets all of 2024. Next pitch is pop foul again. Went from the Mets to the Twins, played for the Twins starting in 2025, was traded to the Phillies in 2025. It's now on the Giants. So that is his journey in the majors. So 1-2 still to Bader. Has fouled off a couple pitches at the moment. Looks at ball 2 on a curveball in the dirt. So Baz up to 35 pitches now through 2 1/3. Throwing a good mix to Bader, though has not been able to really induce many swings and misses at the moment. So 2-2 to the 9-hitter Bader is swung on a miss. Strike 3 on a cutter. Nice pitch there from Baz. Starts in the zone, just kind of cuts a little bit out of the zone. And gets Bader swinging there. So that is strikeout number 3 for Shane Baz, who's off to a pretty decent start so far in this game. I do say so myself. Just giving up the 1 hit. Also a walk. Now the order flips back over to Willy Adames, who looks at ball 1 on a fastball high. So Adames grounded out. Or fouled out, actually, that's what it was. Not a ground out. But fouled out in the first inning to lead off the game. In the 1-out count here, looks at strike 1 on a fastball of some sort. I think might have been a 4-seamer. It was a 4-seamer. That runs back in a little bit. So Baz has been throwing 4-seamers, cutters, and knuckle curves so far. Throws a cutter there, gets the zone for strike 2 at the bottom. Adames does not swing. So Baz is a lot of those 3 pitches, the 4-seamer, curveball, mostly curveball, 4-seamer, throws cutter a lot more to righties, a lot less to lefties. It's thrown a couple times here to Adames. 1-2 to Adames is a curveball in the dirt. Adames does not swing. So it runs to 2-2 at the moment through 40 pitches now. But Adames, he was really good last year. Off to a decent start this year as well. In a 2-2 count at the moment. We'll chop this one high, over, and foul. Like very high chopper, but it goes foul. So we go again on the 2-2 count. They're showing his splits by date. So Adames is a bit of a slow starter in terms of like basically April, May, June, his plays okay, and then July, August, September, he is much better. So he's in the slump months, kind of, in the early months. 2-2 again to Adames is a curveball that is taken. 4-3. So we go once again. On deck is Luis Arias, who walked last time he was up, then was erased at second after a double play. So full count here to Adames is popped high in the air. That might get out. That will get out. Home run there for Willy Adames. Solo shot on the 3-2 count. Looks like it might have been a cutter that just hung up a little bit. And there is first run of the game. Willy Adames goes deep to right field. 4-2. It was like, it looked like an odd swing and didn't feel like it was going to get out initially, like from the initial angle, but then they turned and it was gone. That was a no-doubter. So Adames breaks open the scoring here. Boz was pitching well earlier, but that time was just a cutter. Actually, might have been a curveball. Yeah, that was a curveball that just hung up there in the zone. Did not break nearly as much as he wanted. And Adames, it knocks that one out for first run of the game. Reyes almost gets hit in the leg, has to evade out of the way on a fastball yanked inside. Yeah, it's just a curveball that hangs up, gets over. Doesn't get up on the flag court, a little bit left of that, but that is multiple rows back in the stands. No doubt about that one. So Reyes takes ball 2 on a cutter yanked inside. So Boz suddenly losing control a little bit here. Orioles, I feel like they haven't given up too many home runs. They also haven't hit too many home runs, but so far it's changed today. It's ball 3 to Arias as Boz cannot suddenly find the strike zone. Yanked a lot of fastballs inside, and that one yanked high. So 3-0 count here to Arias. That will be strike 1 there with a fastball. Though I think he's probably going to walk given what I see at the moment. It looks like he will walk because I'm reading the box score right now. Again, sometimes the box score like doesn't want to catch up. Sometimes it does. This will most likely be ball 4. Yeah, it is a fast 4-seamer that just barely sneaks out of the zone. So Arias takes that one for ball 4. So that should bring up Matt Chapman, who grounded into a double play last time. Rushman and the infield's going to meet to talk things over as Boz just cruising and then hit a speed bump. So how is he going to avoid more damage here? So Matt Chapman, I know he was played on the Blue Jays for a while. Was an Athletic from 2017 to 2021. Was on the Blue Jays from 2022 to 2023. For some reason, I thought he played longer there. And has been on the Giants since 2024. So the first pitch to Chapman here in the third will be outside with a fastball for ball 1. Yanked way out of there. So hopefully Boz can induce another ground ball. No need for a double play this time, but hopefully another out from Chapman. So you take strike 1 on a cutter that clips the top left of the zone. Nice pitch there. So Chapman, the veteran, working against Boz, who I think he's like 26 now, but has not played a lot in the majors. Boz will check Arise at first. Arise is safe in there. But Boz has dealt with some injuries so in the past when he was with Tampa Bay. So he's just has not pitched a lot overall compared to how many like actual seasons he's been in. The games played has not all been there. So hopefully he can be a bit more consistent in Baltimore as Chapman will flare this one over into right field. That is caught, I think, by Beavers. And it might be off the ground. So no, it is a single there for Chapman. Looked like he might have caught in the air, but it is trapped very well there by Beavers. And that is a single for Chapman. Arise gets to third. That is just barely. Yep. Maybe a foot off from catching it. Was Beavers. And that advances Arise to third, but well done by Beavers to at least keep the ball in his glove and hold off a run there from Arias. That will bring up Rafael Devers. So Boz now up to throwing his 52nd pitch through 2 2/3. The length as he throws strike one with a fastball right in the middle of the zone. But in terms of the length of pitching and like how many innings he's going, has not been the best for Boz so far. But again, he's not away from only giving up 1 run in the inning. And up against Devers at the moment, 0-1. Devers also 0 for 1 on the night so far. Devers will foul this one away on a curveball, making it 0-2. Devers grounded out last time he was up, but could certainly do some damage here with really anything past the infield in a game or in an inning where the Giants already have a home run. Hopefully, as an Orioles fan, that doesn't happen. So the 0-2 to Rafael Devers is high. Adley attempts a back pick at third base. That is just barely not in there. I think Blaze Alexander was hoping it was going to be, but not in time. Adley's been doing a lot of back picks as of late. There's a lot in Chicago. Those were very insistent on preventing base running, like stealing and stuff by the White Sox up in Chicago. So Adley and a lot of the pitchers were very active in throwing around the diamond. So Devers will chop this one over back to Boz, fields it cleanly, throws it over to Alonso. That is out number 3. So Boz only gives up the 1 run. Does have throw a lot of pitches in the inning, but just gives up the 1 home run and we move on to the bottom of the 3rd. So the Giants do take the lead against the Orioles 1-0, but only 1 run, and it's still very early. Very, very early. Things could certainly change. We have Alexander, Henderson, and Ward coming up. I've got a couple points so far in fantasy. So out-of-town scoreboard at the moment is, let's see, any changes? Diamondbacks actually put up 3 now. So it's 4-3 Phillies at the moment, though the Diamondbacks have gotten 3 back after going down 4-0 early. It's like a Ketel Marte RBI single because I have him on my fantasy team. Tigers up 2-0 against Marlins now. Angels up 4-0 against the Reds. Twins up 3-0 against the Blue Jays. Athletics up 1-0 against the Mets. Rays up 3-2 against the Yankees. We like that score. Guardians and Braves tied at 1. Royals and White Sox tied at 0. Brewers up 3-2 against the Nats. And other than that, no games gone final. So that is the current scoreboard. Obviously, 1-0 Giants over the Orioles as well. But yeah, that is it for the O's, or the scoreboard after the top of the 3rd inning in this game. So, the Masters is on this weekend. I can talk about that real quick. So, I was watching Rory just absolutely tear it up today. Like the chipping he had on 17, that was crazy. So he's at -12 now. Next closest is -6. Rory could certainly choke it away. He's got 2 days to do it, but right now it's looking like he is going to comfortably win this thing. Obviously, could certainly change. Golf is incredibly hard, but what a round from Rory McIlroy today. Like I think he was -5, so I think he was shot at -7 today. When a lot of the rest of the field was struggling a good bit. And like the back nine, essentially, I think he went -6 on the back nine, which is insane. Might have even gone -7 once too. Like he was just doing really well. So we're back. They're showing the manager, Tony Vitello, I think is his name. Was former, most recently a college manager at Tennessee, as Blaze Alexander takes strike one from Landon Rupp. But yeah, both teams with first-year managers, the Giants and the Orioles, as Alexander swings through a curveball for strike two. Those have Craig Albanaz, who was most recently working with the Cleveland Guardians as an assistant coach. Tony Vitello, that's his name. As Alexander will swing through a fastball for strike three. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out for Landon Rupp against the 9-hitter Blaze Alexander. That will bring back up Gunnar Henderson to start the or get his second at bat. Henderson grounded on 1 pitch out in the first inning. Henderson will look at ball 1 on a fastball that runs away. But Henderson has been hitting a couple of home runs as of late. Still striking out a good bit, but has certainly started to turn things around after a slow start. Takes ball 2 as well on, look like maybe a changeup low. Henderson takes strike 3 on, I think, a sinker that runs way out of there. So 3-0 count here for Henderson. It's been, I think, just a couple sinkers that have run out of there. And there's another sinker that runs way out of there for ball 4. That's a 3-pitch strikeout and a 4-pitch walk for Landon Rupp so far in this inning. That is, I believe, the first walk for the Orioles so far. That is, yep, first walk. Though Ward's going to get out here somehow. Or, well, someone's going to get out here. Might be a fielder's choice, my guess. Or it could just be a fly out, since I'm looking at the box score. Yep, Ward pops the first pitch high into the air into shallow right field. Jung-Hoo Lee makes the odd there, so Henderson remains at first base. So now we're getting a look at the Giants' win percentage over the last 5 seasons. They have been very consistently mediocre over the past 4 seasons. So hopefully for the Giants, for them, they can turn things around. But I will say hopefully do it after these 3 games. Would like the Orioles to win these games. So Adley Rutschman, who doubled last time he was up. Gunnar Henderson gets back to first base on the check over there. Yeah, Rutschman, I was singing his praises last time he was up and he got a double. So let's see if that happens again. I think a double would potentially score Henderson from first as Rutschman looks at ball 1 on Cutter? No. Sinker. That runs high. Sinker's the one that goes to the right. Cutter's the one that goes to the left. So yeah, Rutschman, 276 average. Does not have a home run yet, but does have 3 RBIs and double today. Takes strike 1 on a sinker that bends back in. So 1-1 count to Adley. Former number 1 overall pick back in 2019. Apple TV has not updated the count yet for some reason. Now it has. Rutschman looks at ball 2 on a sinker. I think a sinker, maybe a changeup that runs high. Adley's, when he's on his game, his plate discipline has always been what's been really good. And right now it's looking to be pretty good as well. As the 2-1 to Rutschman is knocked over into high into right field. That will knock off the wall. Another double for Adley. And that will, Henderson will stop at third. Probably a good idea. The relay was getting there. But now it is runners on second and third, 2 outs. as Adley has a double day. I think I had him on my bench because I Liam Hicks in, so that's kind of annoying. And the Artemis 2 crew has splashed down to Earth. Very, very good there. Forgot they were. I knew they were getting back today. I just forgot it was like happening right around now, but you know, the game was happening. So, welcome back, Artemis 2 crew. That's got to be just kind of surreal. Like, you know, you spend a week, you're up there, you just fly around the moon, and then it's like, you're back home after that. How was the moon, guys? How was your weekend? That's very, very cool. And I hope we get to do more space exploration soon because space is cool. So Pete Alonso, who struck out looking in the first inning, takes a low strike. Challenge that, Pete. Come on, man. You got to challenge that one. That was well low on a curveball. So 0-1 to Alonso, who again has not gotten off to a very good start this season for the Orioles. Looks at ball one. That runs way inside on the sinker. Alonso, again, he does have a home run, does have 3 RBIs, just has struck out way too much to start start the season. Will knock this one high over into right field and out of play. And unfortunately, as I look over the box score again, I think I know what's going to happen. Yeah, well, at this point, it doesn't matter, but fortunately, it doesn't look like Pete's going to do it here. But it's just a little late on that one. So the 1-2 to Alonso here. Will it be a strikeout? Will it be some kind of other out? It will be, on the next pitch, a strikeout. Swinging on the curveball. So 2 strikeouts for Alonso. 1 looking, 1 swinging. Ends the inning. So Rupp gives up the walk and the double. Alonso not happy about it. Orioles leave 2 on as we go to the top of the 4th, with San Francisco still leading 1-0. All right, so I just had to take a sip of water there. Good long sip. So let's see, what was I talking about last half inning? I don't know. But yeah, Artemis 2 crew's back. I just got the notification about it. That's why I brought it up. So that's really cool. I'm curious when the first ever manned mission to Mars is going to happen, because it's going to happen, I would assume, some point in humanity's future. Don't know how long it's going to be though, because Mars is very far away. But it would be cool to see that happen in my lifetime. And I gotta love wrestling Twitter sometimes. There's I guess last night on NXT, or maybe 2 nights ago, there was a wrestler that was on there, and she was she was like, there's like, this anime girl comes straight out of a manga panel or something, and it was it's not good. You know, I'm an anime fan, and I like anime references in wrestling too, but that was not the best, I'm not gonna lie. But wrestling Twitter's been like doing all like the famous like various bits of like famous wrestling quotes, but making them like anime stuff. So it's got the just doing the Austin 316 image, but it's this anime girl comes straight out of a manga panel. And then the first reply below that is doing the Ric Flair woo, but it's the ooh woo. And it's, you can't beat wrestling Twitter sometimes. It's so funny, man. I love it so much. I need to hear a Ric Flair ooh woo in my lifetime as well. It's never gonna happen, but that would be so funny. Anyway, so back to Shane Baz. First pitch from Casey Schmidt is lined into left field. That is a double there for Schmidt. So another double for Giants. Another double in this game, period. So DH for San Francisco leads off with a double. That looks like a curveball, I think, that just hung up a little bit. Good hitting there. Blaze Alexander just didn't have quite enough room to get there. So a hard hit grounder for Casey Schmidt to start off the inning. Brings up Jung Hoo Lee, who will ground the first pitch over to a diving Jeremiah Jackson at second, makes the play over at first, does advance to the runner, but a very nice defensive play to save a run. So Schmidt advances to third base, but we do get an out. We'll bring up Heliot Ramos, who struck out last time. But Jackson, who's been a very good defensive infielder, the bat has not quite gotten there yet for Jackson this season. But a good bit of defense there. So Ramos will, on the first pitch, knock this one over a leaping Pete Alonso. That will bring in the run. So RBI single for Heliot Ramos on the first pitch. So Giants being very aggressive on the first pitch in the fourth inning against Shane Baz after working a long pitch count in the third inning. They also bring that lead up to 2. So that looks like that was a cutter that Ramos knocks on a liner. So Baz getting knocked around a little bit, but still only 2 runs at the moment. So it's still, you can take 2 runs going up. The offense is going to get there. You just don't want to give up more than that at the moment. So Patrick Bailey now up. We'll look at a first pitch curveball. Does not swing at it. So some actual patience from the Giants hitting core to start now in the fourth inning. So Bailey 0 for 1 with a ground out. Again, not off to a great start. Just 143 with 1 RBI, no home runs, 353 OPS on the season. But has a chance to do some damage here. Takes ball 1 on cutter low. I think that was a cutter. Baz. Might have been a changeup. That's what it was. It's a changeup low. So the 1-1 to Patrick Bailey with Heliot Ramos at first base. There is curveball that is just low for ball 2. Not seen an ABS challenge yet from either team. Those behind the plate have been pretty solid. Challenging at the plate in terms of batting, they have not been as good. Also have not challenged a ton either. Don't know how San Francisco's been doing a challenge as Bailey grounds this one through the right field gap. That will be a single there. That will get Ramos over to third base as Beavers throws it to the cutoff man at shortstop. Oh no, Heliot Ramos actually does hold up at second base. So first and second, 1 out still. Brings up Harrison Bader, who struck out last time he was up. There's a curveball that hung up in the middle of the zone, and Bailey is able to just ground it in between Alonso and Jackson. No play for either guy there. But not a lot of fly balls this inning. No fly balls actually. Been a couple grounders, couple liners, but they found the gaps for San Francisco, and Bader has a chance to extend the lead here. He will swing at the first pitch, but that is a curveball out of the zone for strike 1. There's a good pitch there. Bader goes fishing for that one. Bader 1 for his last 23 at the moment. According to Apple TV, at least. That's what they just said on the broadcast. The 0-1 is another curveball outside. Bader does not go swinging that time. Takes ball 1 there. So Baz trying to get through a couple innings where it's been knocked around a little bit. Throws a fastball that's way high that time. Update the box score for you guys. So Baz already up, I think, past 60 pitches at this point. Throws at the 1-1, yanks fastball low and away out of there. I think that was a cutter, maybe. So 3-1 here to Bader. Don't want to walk him because brings up Willy Adames, who homered last time he was up. No reason to walk Bader here. Not at all. 3-1 to Bader is knocked high in the air. That is shallow left field. Henderson calling off Beavers. Or who's that in left field, actually? Taylor Ward, never mind. So that is out number 2. Bader flies out short. Last time Willie Adames was up, who's up now, he homered out into right field on a full count. And that was what started it all for Boz in this sort of downfall slightly. I mean, again, it's only 2 runs at the moment. But before that homer, Boz was pitching pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, that was the first run he gave up. So it's a little unfortunate for Boz there. Not the guy you want to see with 2 guys on. But Adames does swing through strike 1 there on a curveball low. It's a nice pitch. Boz is finally starting off with a couple of first pitch strikes on last 2 on swinging curveballs. Next pitch to Adames, the righty. So righty-righty matchup at the moment. Ramos and Bailey, second and first. There's a fastball high. Adames does not swing at it. So the 1-1 to Adames is knocked over into left field. That is another hit. Ward fields it, but that will bring in a run. Ramos is in to score, and that is a double there for Willie Adames. Bailey advances to third. Adames at second. That will bring up Luis Arias, who is a really good contact hitter, and the Giants have been hitting very well for contact so far in this inning. So that is 2 runs here in the top of the 4th and counting. Another curveball that just kind of hangs up a little bit. That time not elevated as much from Adames, but he's able to get it over the infield. No chance for Blaze Alexander to make a play. Goes well above his head, and that is an RBI double for Willie Adames, his second RBI of the game, since he obviously drove himself in the first time. Orioles bullpen is now warming as Luis Arias steps up to bat. I think we have a mound visit as well. Looks like Drew French is up there to chat with Shane Boz, the Orioles pitching coach. Drew French. Don't think we're getting a pitching substitution just yet. Hopefully we don't get a pitching substitution in this inning because Shane Boz really needs to get out of it without giving up any more damage. Adames now with his 4th straight multi-hit game. He's on a bit of a tear. And Arias has 2 walks so far in the game. First base is open, so a walk doesn't kill you here. Though it would bring up Matt Chapman, who does have a hit as well in this game. So the first pitch to Arias is yanked inside for ball 1. Boz has not been trying to threaten Luis Arias with too many strikes so far in this game. That was a 4-seamer. That was just not it. Boz up to 72 pitches now with this one that is going to be thrown. Not a great start here right now. There's a fastball in there for strike 1. Arias takes all the way. But definitely a rocky start for Boz. Can hope you can at least get through 4 and only giving up 3. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you hope at least. Arias will ground this one foul. So he's actually in a 2-strike count. Arias with 2 outs of running in scoring position. 323 average, home run. I guess only 1 home run and 110 RBIs. Like Arias just does not hit homers at all. It's like he'll only hit homers in the World Baseball Classic, essentially. He just does not hit them in the regular season. It's really strange. He's one of the strangest guys out there hitting wise. But the 1-2 here from Boz to Arias is popped high in the air into left field. Shallow left field, foul territory now eventually, and that is Taylor Ward who puts out Arias. So the Giants get 2. They also strand 2. So 3-0 here now. Giants over the Orioles. Basayo, Beavers, and Tavares up next. So again, still pretty early, but O's have put themselves in a bit of a hole at the moment. We'll see if Boz comes out for the 5th inning or if the Orioles go to their bullpen after this. They did pitch a good number of bullpen arms last time. There was I think did Albert Torres pitch? Maybe not. I know Tyler Wells pitched. I know Rico Garcia pitched. back on Wednesday, but there should be a couple of guys that are rested at least. We'll see what happens there. So out of town scoreboard now. The Red Sox and Cardinals are scoreless. They've started just recently. Diamondbacks have actually taken the lead over the Phillies, so they lead 5-4 at the moment. James McCann got a RBI, 2 RBI double actually. Former Oriole James McCann. Tigers up 2-0 against the Marlins. Angels up 5-1 against the Reds. Angels are actually off to a pretty interesting start. The Blue Jays up 5-4 against the Twins, so they've kind of come back a little bit, I think. Yeah, they've put up 5 straight now, all in one inning too. Wow. Athletics up 1-0 against the Mets still. Rays still up 3-2 over the Yankees. Guardians up 2-1 over the Braves. White Sox Royals still tied at 0-0. And then Brewers still up 3-2 over the Nationals. So some good games so far. I think that D-back score should give me a couple of points between Geraldo Perdomo and Ketel Marte. Perdomo's still on -1. 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts there, but Ketel Marte is doing well. He's got 1 for 2, 2 RBIs, run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. My one starting pitcher that I have starting today, who is Tatsuya Imai, he's not starting till 9:40. So they're showing, Apple TV is now showing Trevor Rogers, who has had a really nice start to the season. He's actually, they're giving an interview. Nice. Might have to listen into this a little bit. But he's got ERA leaders since 2025. It's Trevor Rogers sitting at 182 at top of the league over Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, above all those guys. Both Cy Young winners last year. But to be fair, Rogers didn't start until I think like May last year. Like it took him a bit to get going because he was injured. As Basayo knocks this first pitch over to first base, that is fielded by Devers. He is able to make the play. Close play in the end, but good fielding there from Rafael Devers. So another first pitch out for the Orioles here. But Devers makes good defensive play. There's obviously a lot of drama for Devers as Basayo slams his helmet. He's been very frustrated, I think, with his start because Basayo's gotten off to a bit of a slow start so far in the season. But yeah, Devers, when he was in Boston, there was a bit of a grumbling about which position he's playing as Beavers looks at strike one. But he's playing first base here for the Giants. So we'll see how that goes there. Made a good play that time. So I always forget, Trevor Rogers is like the most boring guy to listen to as Beavers takes ball one. Like, he's just really monotone, just boring answers, and it's really funny because he is an absolute demon on the mound. Beavers looks at ball two on, looks like a changeup low from Landon Rupp, who's had a nice start so far. Had a bit of a scare last inning, did Rupp, with runners on second and third, but got Alonso to strike out. There's a strike taken by Beavers to make it 2-2. It's a nice sweatshirt. That like City Connect sweatshirt with a like predominantly green. It's nice. Yeah, I should get one of those. So 2-2 to Beavers. Beavers will knock this one high in the air and foul behind home plate. So they will go again. After Beavers, it is Leody Taveras, who does have a single in this game. If we were to continue after that, it would be Jeremiah Jackson and then Blaze Alexander. So 2-2 again to Beavers is taken for ball 3, just low, not caught either by Patrick Bailey at catcher. It was a changeup that I guess was a little bit low. They were doing picture in picture with Rogers and the actual pitching, or like the actual game. So it was like they didn't have the actual strike zone, so it was close. So full count now to Beavers. He will look at ball 4 just inside on look like sinker, I think. Some kind of fastball with a bit of movement. Probably a sinker that just did not quite get back in enough. So that is a 1-out walk for Dylan Beavers. Second walk, I believe, for the Orioles. Yes, it is. So Leody Taveras up again. Get time called by Leody as well. So lefty heavy lineup for the Orioles tonight. A lot of lefties on the team actually, but Henderson, Rutschman, a switch hitter, Basayo, Beavers, and Tavares. Tavares takes strike one on a sinker that runs back in. The interview with Trevor Rogers is over. So they're talking a little bit, I think, about Shane Baz and like asking him like, his fastball control's a little awful. What would you do, kind of? Because Trevor Rogers has been really good. As Tavares takes ball one on a curveball. Now they're showing the City Connect, and it's really cool to have they have a patch on their arms that is like it's the Utah Street plaque for when you hit a ball out to Utah Street. There's a foul ball from Leody Taveras over into right field, but he got some good contact on it, just pulled it a little too much foul. Would have been a potential run scoring double had that stayed fair, but instead it is foul ball, 1-2 for Taveras, who's been a rotational outfielder for the Orioles, but has played well so far in his limited at-bats. Again, now 455 average. So you will pop this one foul on a curveball at the bottom of the zone. So Alonso looking stoically in the dugout, probably getting frustrated at his 2 strikeouts so far in the game. So 1-2 to Tavares is grounded over the pass of diving first baseman. That will get all the way back to the wall. Jung Hoo Lee is playing it a little slowly. That will bring home Dylan Beavers. Will the throw get there in time? It will not, just barely. Dylan Beavers kind of gets caught up on Patrick Bailey at home plate, but it doesn't look like anyone's hurt there. So that is an RBI double for Leody Taveras, who's halfway to a cycle at this point, has a single and a double. The Orioles are on the board with a really nice day so far, I guess night so far from Leody Taveras. That's looks like it might have been a changeup that just hung up right in the zone, lines it right past diving Rafael Devers, and that is Beavers getting from first to home. Very, very nice there. Good bit of hitting from the Orioles. Gets them on the board. Gets a run in. Well done. Also brings up Blaze Alexander. Still 1 out of the inning. Leody Taveras on second. First pitch to Blaze Alexander is a curveball inside for ball 1. This is also Jeremiah Jackson. Blaze Alexander's up after him. I don't know how I got Jackson and Alexander confused. I think I just looked at the box score and I was like, wait a minute, that's wrong. So yeah, there's a changeup taken for strike 1, just on the outside of zone. That is replaying the Taveras double. Really nice. Good send from Buck Britton, the third base coach. Jackson will swing through a curveball for strike 2. So 62 pitches now for Landon Rupp, has now given up 1 run on the night. Potentially, or there's potential for more here for the Orioles as they do have a runner in scoring position. Jeremiah Jackson in the 1-2 hole will swing through a curveball for strike 3. So Jeremiah Jackson goes down. We'll bring up Blaze Alexander. And again, box score is so far ahead. This broadcast is just really far behind at the moment. I'm a little annoyed. And that is strikeout on the curveball to Jeremiah Jackson. Blaze Alexander, from the looks of things, will get out somehow here, most likely on the first pitch. It will be a liner over to third base, caught on a line by the third baseman, Matt Chapman. That does it for the 4th inning, but the Orioles do get one back on the Leody Taveras RBI double. So Matt Chapman, Rafael Devers, and Casey Schmidt will be up to bat next. Schmidt, who had that double to start the 4th inning, will be the third to bat here in the 5th. But Chapman 1 for 2, Devers 0 for 2, Schmidt 1 for 2 as well. We'll see. My guess is Baz will be in there for at least 1 more batter, maybe 2. Looks like he's still on the mound, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Any other news at the moment? No, do we get a really bad challenge. Oh, we got a. It wasn't too bad, but it was a Jazz Chisholm challenge. I love wrestling Twitter. No, it's William Regal's War Games, but instead of the Cell Games. It's so good. Love it. Wrestling Twitter is so funny sometimes. It's really awful sometimes, but it's really funny other times. Yeah. Oh yeah, I talked about a little this last night on my Super Metroid stream, but so I saw this Super Mario Galaxy movie. That movie was awesome, and I've also been watching Mall Shadow Lord, which has also been really awesome. And it's apparently there's behind the scenes. It might have been released yesterday, but it's for for Maul's lightsaber noises. They're incorporating Sam Witwer's screams into it, so it just sounds like a really angry lightsaber. It's really funny and also really cool. And man, that show looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited for Monday when we get more episodes because I want to watch more Mall Shadow Lord. And I want more Mario movie stuff. I want more Nintendo animated stuff because that movie was really fun and I really enjoyed it. And I really want a Star Fox movie now with Glenn Powell because Glenn Powell was really fun as Star Fox. It was a very pleasant surprise. So the first pitch to Matt Chapman from Shane Baz is a fastball yanked high and away. So Baz threw 75 pitches now. Well, he has thrown, but is also through in the sense of THROUH, not THEW. Different through. Different way of saying it. Ball 2 on a fastball just outside to Chapman. My guess is this is going to be Baz's last inning no matter what happens. Even if he gets through in like 5 or 6 pitches. I mean, maybe he only gets through in like 5 pitches. He might pitch for a batter after this, but my guess is this will be it for Baz. Throws strike 1 on a fastball high in the zone. Chapman has not swung yet at a pitch. But it's just, it's 5th inning. You get through that in theory. Hopefully only giving up 3 runs. It's not the worst start in the world, but obviously could be better. But that is still very much predicated on how this inning goes. And Baz has given up runs in the last 2 innings, so we'll see if he can bounce back. The 2-1 to Chapman is high with a fastball, making it 3-1. Baz not quite able to hit the zone consistently with his fastball at the moment. A lot of 4-seamers as well. I guess I feel like he threw cutters a lot to righties, but he's thrown mostly 4-seamers at the moment. So 3-1 to Chapman is, that looked like might have been a cutter. I think it was. That is fouled off by Chapman. It was in the middle of the zone. So full count now to Matt Chapman. The righty hitter, I guess, has now basically been on the Giants for, actually, I think now longer than he was on the Blue Jays, which is interesting to think about. So full count to Chapman is popped high in the air into right field, mid-right field. Beavers has plenty of room to get it. That is out number 1. So leadoff man is down for Baz, which is really nice because he's struggled with that last couple innings. So now it is Rafael Devers, who's 0 for 2 on the day. So not surprising that Baz stays in to go up against Devers. 80 pitches even for Baz on the night through 4 in the 3rd. First pitch to Devers is taken for strike 1 on a fastball 4-seamer that runs towards the outside of the zone. Nice little pitch there. Devers 2 groundouts so far on the night. Long time Boston Red Sox. The 0-1 to Devers here is down in the, not quite in the dirt, but down in there on looked like a changeup for ball 1. Devers does not swing. Wisely so as well. That ball was nowhere close to being a strike. But Baz has a chance to at least salvage the start a little bit and try and get the offense going. There's ball 2 on a fastball that runs way out of there. So Baz signed a $68 million contract extension. Like last week, too. It was like really recent. Largest contract given to a pitcher in the Orioles history, apparently. Devers swings through a fastball there for strike 2. He's off his feet. He's like looking at it like he knocked it out of the park, but that was no, that was a swinging strike. Fastball up like top left corner, and Devers like he's looking at him like he knocked it onto Utah Street, but he did not make contact, really. That was a swing and a miss. So 2-2 to Devers will knock this curveball high up into shallow center field. That will get down for a base hit. Dylan Beavers. Actually, who is that in center field? Is that Leody Taveras? Never mind. Taveras just didn't quite have enough jump to get there. So that is a bloop single there for Rafael Devers. First hit of the night. Just goes down, scoops a curveball up, softly loops it over the head of Gunnar Henderson. Taveras makes a good attempt at it, but not quite able to get there. Taveras does a good job to at least knock it in front of him so it doesn't go behind him, and keeps it as just a single. So it brings up Casey Schmidt, who doubled the last time he was up, I think on the first pitch as well. 1 for 2 on the night. Will, on the first pitch here from Boz, knock this one basically over into the exact same spot he doubled last time. A little bit deeper there, all the way to the back left field wall. Ward fields it. Devers goes to third. Schmidt to second. That is an RBI, not an RBI, just a double for Casey Schmidt. Second of the night. We'll bring up Jung-Hoo Lee, who grounded out to first base last time he was up, but that did advance Schmidt. That eventually led to the second run of the game. That was a curveball that just hung up a little bit as well. Schmidt, I feel like I'm deja vu there. It's like breaking ball that hangs up a little bit, and Schmidt doubles it over to left field. So probably shouldn't have thrown that pitch again, but it is what it is. So Lee, who is 1 for 2 on the night, 86 pitches for Boz, could potentially be his last batter here, especially depending on how it goes. Will throw a fastball high for ball 1. I'm really trying to not look at the box score that is undoubtedly already showing what's going to happen in this at bat, because I don't want to know if things go from bad to worse at the moment. So the 1-0 to Lee is popped high in the air and foul. So we go 1-1 now to the former Korean star, now on the Giants. So 1-1 from Boz to Lee. Infield is really pinched in at the moment. Lee will take ball 2 on a fastball up over the zone. But yeah, any ball kind of beaten on the ground, there's a good chance the throw is going to go home if Devers is running on contact. So it's a lot of management stuff in this kind of scenario. 2-1 to Lee. Any ball past the infield is probably scoring 2 also. Lee will knock this one foul on a curveball. So a strikeout here would be real nice also. Not too many strikeouts at the moment from Shane Boz. He has not gotten too many swings and misses overall. So the 2-2 to Jung-Hoo Lee. Runners on second and third, 3-1, 1 out. Lee will pop this one high in the air. That will get out of play as well. So we go again. Yennier Cano is warming in the bullpen for Baltimore. I'm still not looking. Still not looking at the box score. I don't want to know until I see it happen. Don't want to know at all. So 91 pitches now for Boz. This is certainly his last inning. Might be his last batter as well. So the 2-2 Lee is high for ball 3. Does he hold a swing? Yes, he does. So full count now to Lee. Again, first base is open, so walking him, it's not the end of the world. Heliot Ramos would be up after him, who does have an RBI in this game, which is not great to see. Lee will swing and miss. Strike 3 on a cutter. Cut fastball there. High in the zone. So that is out number 2. Nice pitch there from Boz. Gets Lee swinging. Yep, just cutter, top of the zone. Lee swinging under it, and a little bit late as well. So that is out number 2. Does not advance any runner. So Heliot Ramos, who had an RBI last time he was up, again, has potential to do damage here with anything past the infield. We'll take ball 1 on a fastball way high. I think that was a cutter, actually. This is 90 miles an hour. Had an RBI single last time he was up. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Or, sorry, 1 run for Baltimore, 3 for San Francisco. Ramos will take ball 2 on a cutter that is just outside the zone. So Boz is approaching triple digits in terms of pitch count. This is certainly his last inning because of that. Could potentially be his last batter now, I think, given that Cano's probably warmed up a good bit. Next pitch is knocked foul by Ramos on a four-seamer that runs high in the zone. High in the middle of the zone, I should specify. Craig Alvarez and Drew French chatting with each other. So Boz with a chance here to get out of this inning with no damage, but also a chance to give up 2 more here with a hit. Ramos will knock this one foul as well on a fastball. 98. Wow. It's like 97th pitch that he throws. He goes up, cranks it up to 98 with a fastball in the zone too. That's kind of crazy. So it's 2 cutters that are like 90, 91, and then 2 four-seamers that are 97, 98. It's been all fastball variants so far against Ramos. 2-2. Boz will step off here. Wipe his brow. Might be getting a little sweaty. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not too hot there. It's probably, I mean, my guess with the sun down now, it's low 70s, high 60s, my guess. Maybe. Might be more like mid 60s. But still, it's, big moment here. It's 2-2 to Ramos is curveball, no swing from Ramos. That is full count now. And again, first base is open. But even still, if he walks him here, that's probably his night done nonetheless. And I'm sure Boz would very much like to get out of the inning. Patrick Bailey's on deck. Did have a single last time he was up. So hopefully Boz can get out of the inning here with an out. 3-2 is grounded over up to second base. That is fielded by Jeremiah Jackson. Throws over to first base. That is an out. Boz gets out of the inning, not giving up a run. And very, very nice work there from Shane Boz to get out of the inning. Still 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. So Giants leave a couple on. Boz keeps this game well within reach. We should have, I believe, I think it's actually going to turn back to the top of the order. Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, and Adley Rutschman, which was how the O's scored. No, they didn't score. They almost scored last time these guys were up, but it was not the case in the end. It was Taveras who scored. Or, well, got the RBI. Beavers was the actual run for the Orioles. Yeah. So let's see. Scoreboard watching this time. What do we have now? When my ESPN app loads, I will let you know. There's a bases loaded situation in the Red Sox St. Louis game. Still nothing there, though, at the moment. Diamondbacks still up 5-4 against the Phillies. Tigers still up 2-0 against the Marlins. Angels still up 5-0 against the Reds. Blue Jays up 6-4 against the Twins now. Athletics still up 1-0 against the Mets. Rays still up 3-2 over the Yankees. Braves up 4-2 against the Guardians. Royals up 1-0 against the White Sox. Brewers still up 3-2 over the Nationals. Other games tonight, the Rockies and Padres playing at 9:40. Astros, Mariners also 9:40. And then Rangers and Dodgers 10:10. All Eastern time for those time slots. So yeah, obviously it's the West Coast games. They're later than the East Coast stuff, and mid, like not coast-wise either, because that's how time zones work. So Shane Boz in the end, because this is almost certain, like it's definitely the end of his night, goes 5 innings, gives up 9 hits, only 3 runs though, all 3 earned, only throws 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and does give up 1 home run. So it's definitely not a pretty start, not the worst start in the world. Like you wouldn't mind him going another inning, or like you would have liked to have gone another inning, but still, it's only 3 runs in the end with the amount of traffic he had. Could have been a lot worse, so he'll take it in the end. Currently through 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. But that could certainly change here, depending on how the top of the order does for the Orioles to start the bottom of the 5th. Henderson will look at ball 1 on a changeup low and away. Henderson 0 for 1 with a walk, had a 4-pitch walk last time he was up. We'll look at strike one there. Actually, sees a strike now. Another changeup. Might have been a sinker, actually, that was in there in the zone. 66 pitches for Logan Rupp through 4 innings. There's a changeup or sinker, one of the two. Something that's going left to right that isn't a breaking. It's like not quite a breaking ball. Probably a sinker, actually. Henderson will foul this one off, 2-2. So there's a sinker. I think that was another sinker. I think it's mostly been all sinkers so far. Henderson fouls that one off. Took a couple. Took 2 balls. Took a strike. Has also swung on a strike, or well, fouled off a strike. So 2-2 here for Henderson, working against Rupp for the 3rd time. There's ball 3 on a curveball that is way out of there. So full count now for Gunnar Henderson. Looking probably for his first hit of the night. On the 70th pitch from Logan Rupp. We'll knock this one high in the air, but that is not going to get out of there. Shallow right field. That is Jung Hoo Lee coming on, and we'll put Gunnar Henderson out for out number 1. Just kind of on the end of the bat. Probably would have been ball 4, but it would have been close. In the end, it is out number 1. Now we'll bring up Taylor Ward. 0 for 2 on the night after a 4 for 5 day on Wednesday. Showing a Zach Neto 2-run home run in the Angels and Reds game. That made it 4-0 at the time. Ward swings through cutter? It almost looked like a slider there. I guess it was a cutter for strike 1. Just had a lot of movement to it. Man, I don't think Rupp throws a slider. So 0-1 here to Taylor Ward is swung on a missed on changeup, I think, there. So quick 0-2 count for Ward. He's got an 11 game on base streak at the moment on the line. We'll look at ball 1 on a changeup. Actually, that I think was a curveball down and away. Still looking for the first home run from Taylor Ward. Again, the 367 average, .999 OPS is pretty good. Ward looks at ball 2 on a changeup down in the dirt as well. I guess according to broadcast, it is Roop, not Rupp. So I think I initially started with Roop and then switched to Rupp, but it is Roop. So Landon Roop, 74 pitches now, has thrown 2 strikes, then 2 swinging strikes, then 2 taken balls to Taylor Ward here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. Next pitch is like check swing, knocked over to second base. That is double clutch by Arias, but he throws Taylor Ward out, who's kind of jogging a little bit to first base. It is what it is. I don't think he was going to beat it out in the end. So that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. They're showing how much glove side movement Logan Roop's curveball has, and he's got a lot of movement to it. So Rutschman with a double day at the moment. Looking to add on to that with nobody on. It takes ball 1 on a changeup low. Actually, a sinker low. Because I'm pretty sure the sinker is the one that's in 993 and has a little bit of that movement, and it's not the changeup. Next pitch is, there's a changeup top of the zone for strike 1. So Rutschman having a good night so far. One of the few O's hitters that is. Will knock this one over a leaping Rafael Devers. Just barely can't get it for a very soft single for Adley Rutschman. And a 3 for 3 day. Love that for Adley. Love that. That is so good. Just doesn't need to be pretty. Doesn't need to be a lot of power. Just getting on base. That looked like a curveball that Rutschman's able to kind of bend down and get it. Devers just barely, like it's off his glove a little bit, actually. I should have put Rutschman in over Liam Hicks. Dang it. It's 5 points there on my bench. Oh well, that's fine. That brings up Pete Alonso, who's struck out looking and struck out swinging so far in the day. Takes a ball inside on a sinker. I keep cracking up at wrestling Twitter with this freaking anime stuff. It's so funny. Alonso takes ball 2. It's just sometimes when everyone just has like the single brain cell on wrestling Twitter, when it all coalesces together for that one time a year, It's comedy gold. 2-0 count for Alonso. Looks at ball 3 on a curveball low. So Alonso's actually in a favorable count for once. Basically just hasn't made contact with the bat at all. Has not swung a lot either. I would assume he's not swinging at all here. But a 2-run home run from Alonso would be pretty nice to see. We'll look at strike 1 on a sinker that just clips the bottom of the zone. And I guess my box score is like really far ahead now, I guess. I don't know. Alonso will ground this one over to Luis Arias very softly at second, and that is out number 3. Alonso looks like he was about to slam his helmet. Was really close to slamming his helmet. Holds up on it. He's very frustrated, I can tell. Why is YouTube giving me an error message? Can you stop that, please? I am buffering, I guess. I don't know. That is no runs there for the Orioles. We're going on to the 6th inning. Should be Yennier Cano to pitch now. We'll get it. We'll get there when we get there. O's offensively, not having the greatest night. They've had a couple hits, left a couple guys on base, but not very great situational hitting at the moment. We'll see what happens. So otherwise, not much going on, I don't think. I wanted to mark that down because this is Shohei Ohtani screaming the F word. That was funny. I'm putting that in my my next weekly recap short, which got my first. I was not expecting my first one to take off as much as it did. That's 99.2K views. Is awesome. I love that. Thank you very much. It's my most viewed anything on my channel at the moment by a large margin. So that is definitely going to be a weekly thing now, if it gets that much traction. And there's like, it helps that there's been a lot of fun happening so far in Major League Baseball. Been a lot of fun so far. And I want to pay attention to, the season, pay more attention to it rather than just watching the Orioles, because baseball's fun. So we're going to the top of the 6th inning. Should be Harrison. Is it? No, I think it's Patrick Bailey's up now. Bailey, Bader, and Adames, I believe, is the order. Who batted around a lot, but only 3 runs at the moment. Boz pitched an okay start, hoping that the offense can pick up the slack. Boz obviously not in line for the win at the moment. Then Yennier Cano in the game, 1-1 record through 5 games played, 3 ERA flat, 3 innings total pitched, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Opponent's average 250, and I think it was like 0.1 whip or something. I don't know. I couldn't quite see the whip at the end. So Patrick Bailey's up 1 for 2 on the night. We'll look at ball 1 on, I think, a changeup yanked in there. Let me find Cano's things, because he primarily pitches sinkers. So Cano was an all-star in 2023. The throws changeup there. That is fouled off by Bailey. Actually, that might have been a sinker. It's so baseball's fun has them sinker, splitter, slider, and four-seamer, which I don't think is right. So I think it's mostly a splitter. There's a knocked one high into center field that will just barely not get out of there. Tavares tracks it down nicely. That is a good bit of hitting there from Bailey, just not quite enough there on a looper. That was, let's see. Let's play the guessing game of what kind of pitch this might have been. I'm going to say it was I'm going to say it was a sinker that held up, but I don't know for sure. Let's see. Yennier Cano pitches. As first pitch from Harrison Bader is grounded over to Blaze Alexander at third. That is out number 2. What do I might just have to stick with Baseball Savant. I didn't even see what kind of pitch that was. It was just I think it was another sinker that was just like, because Cano just throws a sinker like 90% of the time. It feels like he loves throwing the sinker, and that time got Harrison Bader to ground out. Let's do that real quick. That will bring it back over to Willie Adames, who's 2 for 3 on the day with a home run, having a very good night. Looks at strike 1 on a sinker there, 95. But yeah, Cano was an all-star in 2023. Was at part of the Jorge Lopez trade with the Twins back in 2022, I believe. That also netted Cade Povich for the Orioles. There's a slider there that's yanked for a ball. But Cano, it was really like first 3 quarters of 2023, Cano was legitimately one of the best relievers in baseball. After that, he was okay and has gone downhill, like steadily downhill in quality over the past couple of years, as there's a sinker low for ball 2. But 2026 so far has been better in the past couple of years in the short sample size, but it's good to see at least. There's a splitter that is called, I keep saying splitter, sinker for called strike 2, a little bit below zone, no challenge from Adames. Probably should have challenged. Again, still have not seen an ABS challenge from either team. And there's definitely been a couple pitches here that probably should have challenged. That's a sinker that is good, like inch or two below the zone. The 2-2-2. Adames is swung on a miss. I think that was a splitter, actually. Gets him swinging. Cano hits the pose. 1-2-3 inning for Yennier Cano. Love that. That will quickly bring the Orioles offense back up. Basayo, Beavers, and Taveras. So that is the run scorer Beavers. Hoping to bring the Orioles back to a tie game or potentially the lead, depending on how things go. In theory, those 3 could give them a lead. If Basayo and basically all 3 of them score, they would get the lead back. But I'd just take a run. I'm okay with 1 run from those guys, but I would certainly like more. But good work there from Cano out of the bullpen. The Orioles bullpen, I mean, I was certainly one of many saying that it was a bit of a weakness coming into the season. And to start out, it was definitely a bit rough here and there. But over the past week or so, it's been a lot better overall. There's been some moments here and there, but overall, the bullpen has been a lot better. Ryan Helsley's been a really nice addition. Did have the 1 game against Pittsburgh where it wasn't a blown save because it was tied, but did give up the losing run. But even then, that wasn't partially his fault. It's partially just very poor defense as well. But yeah, and, when he's in save opportunities, he's I think 4 for 4 on save opportunities now already, which is pretty nice. So yeah, the Orioles bullpen off to a good start tonight, at least. Need the offense to pick themselves up a bit here, as so far Logan Roop is through 5 innings, has given up 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So hopefully that that ER number is gonna go up a little bit here, as Camden Yards is going a bit nuts. Looks really nice. If I wasn't streaming this game, I probably would have tried to go to the game tonight because it looks very nice. I don't know. Maybe I go Sunday. I don't know. All right, we should be getting started here in a moment with the bottom of the 6th inning. Their Apple TV's promoting the MLB app and showing a nice aerial view of Camden Yards, one of the prettiest ballparks in baseball. And the City Connect jerseys that the O's are wearing is modeled after the stadium. Sayo will swing at the first pitch and foul it behind home plate for strike number 1. So Basayo 0 for 2 on the night, 156 on the season, does have a home run and an RBI, which was the home run, 500 OPS on the dot. Slow start for Basayo, but again, he's also only like 22 or something like that. Like, he's very young. He's really tall, but very young. So I'm not super worried about him. He's got time. We'll look at ball 1 on cutter. I'll call that a cutter. Low. Yeah, I think Roop throws a cutter, right? I've looked at that stat sheet enough times to know that he throws a cutter. Basayo will ground this one over to first base. That is Devers again. And that is another ground out to first base for Basayo. Yeah, okay. Roop, that's his name. Roop does throw a cutter. That pitch that he got Basayo to ground out on, I don't think was a cutter. But Basayo is definitely getting a little frustrated at the moment. That he's one of the top prospects in baseball. Although now he's, not quite a prospect anymore because he's in the majors, but he's been one of the top prospects in baseball for a while. 0 for 3 on the night, though, unfortunately. That brings up Dylan Beavers. 0 for 1 with a walk, has scored the 1 run for the Orioles at this point. Takes strike 1 on a sinker high in the zone, but it's high in the sense of like top of the zone. That's the better term for it. Beavers 267, does have a home run, 5 RBIs, 740 something OPS. 0-1 to Beavers here is outside for ball 2 on changeup, I want to say. Looked like a changeup. A lot of sinkers from Roop so far, a lot of curveballs, a couple cutters, a couple changeups, and 1 four-seamer total. There's a changeup as well, I think. That is low for ball 2. So Beavers worked himself back into a favorable count here. Will swing the bat here and knock it over into left field. That will stay up, though, however, as Ramos makes the line out there for out number 2. Just didn't get down enough or didn't get quite up. So there's a line out there for Dylan Beavers. That will bring up Leo Taveras, who's 2 for 2 on the night at least. But really, outside of him and Adley, it's really just him and Adley. They've the only 2 guys with the hits right now. And it's at least they're hitting well. There's ball 1 to Leote. But you do want the other guys on the team to start hitting as well, because it's been not much so far. So 1-0 to Taveras is ball 2 on a curveball outside. Bench options off the top of my head. So there's Ryan Mountcastle, Colton Cowser as well. Maybe Tyler O'Neill, though they took him out of the lineup. I don't know if it was injury related or not. I haven't seen anything so far. As Taveras will knock this one over into center field, that is going to hang up as well. So there's a line out to Harrison Bader. 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 6th. We move on. Will be Luis Arias, Matt Chapman, and Rafael Devers, the heart of the order for San Francisco coming up. Orioles sent down an order, but yeah, so it like Cowser and Cowser. Who did I also just say? Mountcastle and Kobe Mayo are on the bench. I guess. I mean, I don't think. I mean, I like if O'Neill's getting scratched from the lineup, then I don't think he's available to play. But I don't know. I don't know what happened with him. But we'll see what happens. For now, though, the O's bullpen needs to continue to pitch well. Let's see. I can do out of town scoreboard as well. Anything else? No. Yankees are not having a good time in Tampa Bay, which is fun to see. I'll take that. So yeah, out of town scoreboard. Cardinals up 1-0 against the Red Sox. Diamondbacks still up 5-4 against the Padres. Angels up 10-2 against the Reds. Wow. Blue Jays up 8-4 against the Twins. Athletics still up 1-0 against the Mets. Rays up 5-2 against the Yankees. Love to see that. Braves up 7-2 over the Guardians. Royals up 1-0 against the White Sox. Brewers still up 3-2 against the Nats, and no other game has gone final at the moment. Now, let's see, who's scored for Tampa Bay at the moment? We've seen a Cedric Mullins score. That would be cool if he did. No. He's probably not batting, I would assume. Is he batting? He is. Oh, he's 1 for 2. 1 for 2 with a walk. Does have an RBI at least. So yeah, there we go. In the 5th inning. Does he have an RBI? It's not lining up correctly. Mullins, it says 5th inning, Mullins single to right, Diaz scored, but it just doesn't show it there. So I don't know. Whatever. There's strike 1 to Luis Rice. He will challenge this pitch though. It is Nick Rackett, who I think was just called up recently, and challenge is overturned. Or the call is overturned, so Rise is successful in challenge. That is a ball. I have no idea who Nick Rackett is, I'm gonna be honest. Help me. Fangraphs. So he was traded from Cardinals. Oh yeah, he was traded for Braden Smith, position player, like outfield infielder Braden Smith from the Cardinals. So back, I guess today actually, that's what it was. There's strike 3. I missed a couple strikes, or no, that was strike 2. Never mind. Swinging strike there from Rise. So 1-2 on the count. No, that was 3 days ago was when Rackett was acquired and called up to have the bullpen. Lefty here. Rise will pop this one into shallow right field. That will hang up there for Dylan Beavers, who makes out number 1. So Rackett has retired his first batter he sees as an Oriole. Let's see. What does Baseball Savant? Does Baseball Savant have a page on him? Can I type correctly also? Rackay, actually. That's how you say it. Nick Rackay. Not Rackett. Rackay. He does have a Baseball Savant page, though he does not have pitches listed. Don't think he's been in the majors all that long. There was ball 1 to Matt Chapman on, I'm going to call that slider. That's what I'm going to call it. Oh no, he's a sweeper, sinker, 4-seam changeup. Okay. There is, that looks like, I'm going to call that a sinker. In the dirt for ball 2. Maybe a changeup. Could be a changeup. Might have also been a sweeper. So 2-0 to Matt Chapman from Nick Rackay. There's a big looping, I'll call it a sweeper, up high for ball 3. So after Chapman, it will be Rafael Devers. The 3-0 to Chapman is outside with a fastball for ball 4. So 4-pitch walk to Matt Chapman. So I'll get my stream's buffering now. Yay. That's, yeah. Uh-oh. Gotta refresh the page real quick. Hang on. Give me a second. Box score. You can box score watch it real quick. Stream's back. Looks like Alonso and Chapman are talking to each other at first base. Come on. There we go. All right, now we're back. So 1-0 count currently to Rafael Devers. Is knocked foul on a sweeper there. So Devers 1 for 3 with single. Reached base last time he was up, though did not score in the end. So 1-1 from Rackay to Devers. Lefty on lefty here is knocked foul. Devers just barely gets a piece there. Like, barely gets a piece. Though wasn't a, like, if he swung and missed, it would have been out. Because it's only one strike at that point. But now it is strike. That was strike 2. but it was a foul tip strike 2 instead of a swinging strike 2, if that counts for something. So Chapman lingering at first base, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Pitch to Devers is knocked foul on another sweeper, I'm assuming. It's a lot of like mid-80s, very looping type of pitch. So I'm going to assume that is a sweeper, because that looks like kind of how it should, kind of how those things work. It's a breaking ball. I'll just say that. So once again, 1-2 to Devers is knocked high in the air over into right field. That will barely stay in the park at the warning track. Dylan Beavers able to make the out. Chapman races back to first base. So long out there for for Rafael Devers. It was just didn't look like Devers got quite enough on there. It was kind of off the end of the bat. I think Devers might have thought he had it, but it was just not quite there. So warning track fly out from Devers to Beavers. That brings up Casey Schmidt, who's having a nice day. 2 for 3 on the day, I guess night. Takes strike 1 on a sweeper. Might have been inside, but called strike 1. Schmidt with a couple doubles. Has scored a run as well. So double the last 2 times he was up. Working against the lefty, Rickey. There is double number 3 for Casey Schmidt. Basically in the same exact spot as well. Chapman is racing around third. He will potentially get home. The relay home is barely not in time. Really close. But Chapman is home. That is double number 3 for Casey Schmidt and an RBI. Basically put 3 doubles, like 3 liner doubles over into left field. It's pretty much the same exact thing over and over and over again. It's kind of ridiculous. Alexander's not quite able to get there, and Chapman races home. Throw was close. A little bit offline. And a little late. I don't even think an online throw would have gotten Chapman out. It just didn't quite have it enough. Maybe if the throw, because Adley did have to move a little bit, but it would have been really close anyway. So Giants get their run back, extend the lead back to 3 as Jung-Ho Lee takes strike 1 on a sweeper there. I mean, maybe it's not a sweeper. Maybe it's something else. It just, they all look like the exact same pitch, and they're kind of slow. There's not, that might have been a sinker, actually. But it's like he's throwing in the mid-80s, so I can't think his like fastball is that much. It's like, I wish Savant had the like miles per hour that it has for like the average velocity. Oh, there it is. Okay, no, it does have it. I'm just looking in the wrong place. Lee will knock this one high over and into right field. Will that stay failure? That will be a home run for Jung-Hoo Lee. Flag court home run. 2-run home run for Jung-Hoo Lee. Breaks this game open. Dang it. Exactly what you didn't want to have happen if the Orioles, but also doesn't help that the offense has done nothing this game. The bullpen falls flat here with Nick Rickey. So Giants put up 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. Putting this game out of the reach at the moment with how poorly the offense has been playing for the Orioles. Another sweeper. It's just been a ton of sweepers from Rickey. Could have been a changeup, but I think it was a sweeper. It's just been like constant sweepers, and this game's kind of out of reach at the moment, unless the offense can beat up on the Giants bullpen. Ramos takes strike 1 on a sweeper there. It's like very loopy sweeper. Had that. Next pitch is another sweeper outside. Just been all sweepers so far from Rickey. 1-1 to Ramos. Orioles struggling here tonight. I feel like they always play bad on Apple TV. There is a changeup that is beaten in the dirt and foul. Yeah, that was a sweeper. It was not a bad pitch location-wise. Like, it's on the inside line of the plate. Just Lee just squares up on it, and it was like in the zone there. Just gets it. Ramos knocks this one foul on a sweeper there. Orioles fan threw the home run ball back into the stadium. That's pretty funny, at least. He's not happy, and I don't blame him. The 1-2 to Ramos is in the dirt for ball 2 on another sweeper. It's just like I feel like Raquet has thrown like maybe, I mean, he's thrown 23 pitches. I think 3 of them have not been sweepers so far. It's kind of nuts. And I don't know if that's a recipe for success, if I'm not gonna lie. But we go again on the 2-2 from Raquet to Ramos. It is just outside with the sweeper for ball 3. Just outside. It is like, it's really close, but it is a ball for that pitch. So full count to Ramos from McKay is popped high up into the air. Shallow right field. Dylan Beavers has plenty of room to get this one. And that is out number 3, but not before the Giants put up 3 more in the 7th inning to make it 6-1. Going into the bottom of the 7th, Jeremiah Jackson, Blaze Alexander, and Gunnar Henderson, 8-9-1 hitters. We'll see if Logan Roop doesn't look like he's going to pitch in the 7th, so I think his day is going to be done. Box score is certainly listing that he is not going to be pitching anymore. So if it is the end, it will be 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 earned for Roop, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts on the night. Now the Orioles feel like they've had some moments where they've pitched well against the bullpen, against opposing teams. So we'll see if they can do that here. So coming out of the bullpen, listed at least, is Keaton Wynn for the Giants, right-handed reliever. 5th round pick back in 2018. Let's see. More on Keaton Wynn. Made his debut back in 2023, so he's been on the team for a couple years now. So he doesn't have his ERA at the moment. Oops, nope, going the wrong way. His ERA at the moment, 6 games played, 5.1 innings pitched, 5.06 ERA. So maybe not the best start of the season for him, but in a good situation at the moment with a 5-round lead. Orioles certainly would look to spoil that. Let's switch this over from Landon Roop to Keaton Wynn for his pitching arsenal. Throws split finger fastball, 4-seam fastball, sinker, and slider. Those are his 4 pitches listed at the moment, at least, on Baseball Savant. Does have a lot of red at the moment on Baseball Savant. Looks like he's a fly ball pitcher. Though also not giving like 98 in terms of hard hit percentage. So I think it's like does not give up a lot of hard hits, but also does not give up a lot of ground balls either. I don't know. He's got a lot, like looks like swing and miss a lot as well. He throws. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Orioles can turn this around. But right now, doesn't look like it. The bats have been, outside of Rutschman and Tavares, have been very silent. So Keaton Wynn takes the 7th inning here for the Giants. That brings up Jeremiah Jackson, who's 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout. Looking to get his first hit. As with a lot of the Orioles, basically, it's everyone outside of Rutschman and Tavares. First pitch is down there for strike 1. That is a 4-seam fastball. And 98 as well. So there's some extra velocity from Wynn at the moment. I think it's a pretty thin bullpen for the Giants also with a lot of injuries. Swing and a miss on slider. Splitter, actually. That's what it was. So splitter in the dirt. Jackson goes swinging. So he's quickly over 2. Struck out in the 4th inning. So it has not been a very productive night at the plate for Jeremiah Jackson. He will ground this one off himself and foul. good chance Jackson's going to get optioned down to AAA once Jackson Holiday gets ready. But Holiday, I think, is going a little slow in his rehab starts at the moment. After getting like a bone spur removed in his hand or something. I think it's like the same injury like Corbin Carroll had or something like that. It's taken a little bit to get back. The 0-2 to Tavares to Jackson is another foul tip off of home plate. Stays alive there. Looks like that might have been another splitter, maybe. It might have been a sinker, actually. Was not the slider, I know that. So still 0-2 to Jeremiah Jackson. Couple foul balls here. So Keaton win against Jackson. Next pitch is yanked way out of there on a splitter for ball one. Like, I think it might have bounced on the grass even before it got to the dirt. So very easy to take ball one there. Could have also been the slider yanked down there. One of the two. But it was a very non-competitive pitch. I'll just say that. So the 1-2 to Jackson is just outside. Jackson holds up. So that is 2-2 on the four-seamer. That is a bit left of the zone. Good take. Just need to get a couple guys on, really. Need to start getting the other bats warmed up. Would even take a walk here. Jackson will shatter his bat over to shortstop. That is a ground out instead. Oh, no, it's booted up by Devers at first base. So that is an error. Bit of a low throw. Jeremiah Jackson's bat almost hit Matt Chapman at third base. Adames' throw was, I mean, it was low, but Devers should have picked that. So that's probably going to be an error charged on Devers, I'd assume. That will bring Jeremiah Jackson to first base. There's a shattered bat grounder. The bat's going towards Chapman. The ball goes to Adames, and that's like, it's a one hit, like it's a one-hop throw, but it's right in Devers' glove, and he just misses it. So, Orioles get a guy on. It's not the prettiest way to do it. Alexander will ground this one over to Willy Adames, and that is a double play there, so he makes up for there, and that is awful hitting. Great work there, Blaze. Awesome work. Just get a little bit of momentum, and you immediately squander it. It's so well done. So Blaze is over 3, grounds into a double play there. Like the easiest double play in the world. It's just depressing. It's just so many first pitch outs tonight for the Orioles. It's just sad. Like, what is this hitting approach, man? Henderson swings through, splitter for strike 1. Actually, it might have been a sinker. I think it was a splitter, though. But it's just like, I hate first pitch outs so much for a fan of the batting team. It's just like, just no threat. You're just not even putting up any competition there. It's just go up and then leave. Henderson also took ball 1. It's come on, man. Like, do better. So 1-1 to Henderson. He will chop this one over to second base. That is a 1-2-3 inning as that relay is successful. So the Orioles going very quietly into the night as they look very depressing at the moment. Any momentum from the White Sox series, which was ugly, but they won it all, has completely evaporated as they are without any momentum going into the 8th inning, down 5. Albert Suarez now into pitch to most likely pitch the last 2 innings, I would assume, unless things go really wrong for either team, really. But Orioles, not their night tonight. So Big Al, who was a starting pitcher actually for the Orioles back in 2024, was a very big surprise for the Orioles then as well. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Was injured for most of 2025, but has come back to pitch in the bullpen here in 2026 and has actually been pretty decent. Kind of a long man type of situation for Suarez. Throws four-seam, cutter, changeup, curveball. But it's really just like you just hope he doesn't give up any more runs. Just don't make it too embarrassing, because this game's over. The Orioles, their offense is not doing anything tonight. So out of town scoreboard. One more time, probably. Red Sox are up 2-1 against the Cardinals. Jays are up 9-4 now against the Twins. Athletics up 4-0 against the Mets. Rays up 5-3 against the Yankees. I think that's the same score. Maybe the Yankees might have gotten one back. Yeah, they did get one back on a Ben Rice home run there in the 8th inning. Geez, at least one team can try and come back. Braves up 9-3 against the Guardians. Royals up 2-0 against the White Sox. Brewers and Nationals still 3-2. The Diamondbacks and Phillies have gone final. Diamondbacks won that one 5-4, coming back there. At least one team can come back as well. It would be real nice if we can actually see a comeback here. Tigers win 2-0 against the Marlins. Angels win 10-2 against the Reds. Angels are what now? 7-7? Yeah. I think is Trout still in the IL? I think he is. Or is he playing? No, he is playing. He went 0-4 though, unfortunately. But he was playing at least. There was a grand slam in that game. Jorge Soler grand slam. Ball one from Albert Suarez to Patrick Bailey. Suarez, one game played, nothing record, 3 ERA flat. There's a changeup there that is taken for ball 2. Pretty sure that was a changeup. Yeah, that was a changeup. So Bailey, Bader, and Adames to bat for San Francisco. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball. 4-seam fastball. Top left corner. Nice pitch there from Suarez. Yeah, only pitch he's throwing above 90 from the looks of things. 2-1 to Bailey is knocked high over into left field. Ward ranging and catching for out number 1. Might have been a cutter there, knocked up into left field. So simple fly out there. Here they're showing various different errors committed by Rafael Devers at first base, because he is not a very good first baseman. And he did make an error tonight, but it did not cost him. First pitch from Bader, knocked high into left field. Will that get out? It is hit into the deep part of the field, and Ward with a very nice catch at the wall. Nice work. Taylor Ward is hit. Bader hit it to the exact wrong part of the park, because it's like in that deep left field area. But even still, I think that was a home run robbery there for Taylor Ward. Catches it on the wall. Nice work there on that first pitch fastball, knocked almost out of the park. And that might have, depending on the angle, it would have either been a double or a home run. No, I think that would have been home run. So that is a home run robbery for Taylor Ward. Keeps this game at keeps the lead at 5 at the moment for San Francisco. So that's good at least. Well, Adames takes strike 1 high on a fastball. Could be challenged for a ball there, but he does not challenge. No real need to challenge. Again, the Giants are up by a lot, and they're cruising to a victory at the moment. Unless the Orioles can suddenly remember how to hit a baseball. There's ball 1 on, looked to be a cutter. And Ward snow cones that. Very nice bit of work there for Taylor Ward, who's had a couple miscues in the outfield so far defensively, but that one certainly was it. Adames grounds that one right back to Albert Suarez, who fields it cleanly, tosses it over to Alonso at first base, and gets a very nice 1-2-3 8th inning with a little bit of help from Taylor Ward, who will be up to bat to start the bottom of the 8th inning. Be Ward, Rutschman, and Alonso. Ward looking to get on base the first time tonight, and Alonso as well, but Ward looking to preserve his hit streak as well. Or not hit streak, his on-base streak, I should say. So we'll have a new pitcher for the Giants, according to the box score. That will be something Brubaker. JT Brubaker was a free agent signing from the Yankees back in August of 2025, according to Fangraphs. Let's see. JT Brubaker. Who else did you play for? I think you debuted with the Pirates from the looks of things. Back in, or I guess was drafted by the Pirates back in 2015. I think so. 6th round back in 2015. Was on the Pirates from 2020 to 2022. Then was not out of the majors until 2025 when he's on the Yankees. And was on the Yankees for half of 2025 and has been on the Giants since. Let's see. JT Brubaker. So Baseball Savant has you throw in sinker, slider, changeup, curveball, four seam. Mostly sinkers and sliders, 42 and 36% of the time. Changeup, 10%, curveball, 8%, four seamer, 4%. Throws righty. Does not throw the changeup at all to righties. According to Savant, throws pretty much all sinkers and sliders. Does not throw slider a lot to lefties. Throws the changeup a good bit to lefties. And the curveball and four seamer is rarely used no matter what. So it is heart of the order here. And at least Adley's having a good night at least, but you'd like that hitting ability to translate to the rest of the team. Since it's outside of Adley and Leote, it's been nothing. All nothing so far. So 5 hits between 2 players for the Orioles. Nobody else has a hit. 1 error given up by the Giants. Did lead to a base runner last inning, but nothing came of it as it was erased immediately by a double play. First pitch to Ward is outside with a sinker for ball 1. So Ward, couple flyouts and a ground out, looking to get on base here. Will look at ball 2 on a slider low. Actually, that might have been a curveball. Might have been a curveball, actually, but I think it's probably a slider. It just looked more like a curveball than a slider. There's a fastball that is just low. Sinker for strike 1. Ward looks all the way. Sinks down to the bottom of the zone. So 2-1 to Ward is grounded off of Ward, or I think might have been off home plate, one of the two, for strike 2. So 2-2 count here for Ward. And let me go back to the Savant page. Not great numbers for Brubaker at the moment. Ward will swing through that slider there for strike 3. So even if your numbers aren't great, you can still have a good night. And so far, Brubaker's off to a good start. Ward just goes fishing. So not a good night for Taylor Ward. Not a good night for the Orioles offense as a whole. Except for this guy, Adley Rutschman. 3 for 3 on the night. Looking to go 4 for 4. That would be pretty cool. Adley will swing at the first pitch, actually grounded over to Rise at second. So we will not go 4 for 4. That is another first pitch out. Hate that again. Hate it so much. It's just they don't look competitive doing that either. It's just like that. I think that's like the 6th first pitch ground out from the Orioles tonight. It feels like it's 6 at this point. It's just sad. It's just sad. So Pete Alonso's up now, also not having a good night. 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. We'll look at the first pitch. That is a sinker outside the zone for ball 1. I expect nothing here. I expect nothing at all. I expect us to go to the 9th inning here with nothing. Alonso takes strike 1 on a sinker in the middle of the zone. Alonso just is not swinging the bat too much at all. And when he's swinging the bat, it's usually on stuff outside the zone, and he's missing. Like, he takes stuff in the zone and misses stuff outside the zone. It's frustrating right now. Does not swing on that slider that is yanked down and away. Alonso, again, real frustrated this game. They're showing flashbacks to earlier. So 2-1 to Alonso here. He will look at ball 3 on a sinker that runs inside. So again, another favorable count for Alonso. I just like I'll take a single here. Just get him something, get him, off of this slump that he's in. I'll take a walk. Walk's fine. I'm okay with a walk. It's ball 4 inside with a sinker. I'm okay with a walk. It just gets him on base. Just get the bad juju out of your mind, Pete. You're better than what you've been playing so far. Okay, Orioles and Giants, two of the teams with the fewest home runs. Giants only with 7. They're last in the league. Orioles tied in second to last with the Tigers, D-backs, and Padres with 8. This is Basayo taking ball 1 on a slider down in the dirt. Might have been a curveball, actually. But Basayo also over 3. Similar to Alonso, it's like, just get on base, Basayo. I don't care how. Just get on base. Get the funk out of your system. Takes ball 2 on a sinker away. But it's just getting on base. That's all I want. Don't even need to don't even need to win this game. Don't even need to score a run. Just get on base. Get the yips out of the way. We get a mound visit between pitcher and catcher here. So Bailey's having a chat there with Brubaker, who's starting to miss the zone a little bit. I think, yeah, still good stream-wise. But yeah, it's just feels like a couple of these guys in the O's are in some funks at the moment. So you want to just get a hit or two, get going. There's ball 3 on a sinker that is just low. So 3-0 count for Samuel Basayo. My guess is he's also not swinging. There's 4-pitch walk, actually. So back-to-back walks for the Orioles with 2 outs here. Yep, stream's still fine. That will bring up Dylan Beavers, who is also hitless on the game, though he does have a walk, is the lone run scorer at the moment for the Orioles. Looks like we might, we'll get a pitching change here for San Francisco as well. So we get a lefty-lefty matchup, essentially. This will be Matt Gage. Was a free agent signing from the Detroit Tigers back in July of 2025, though it looks like he originally came up with the Giants. Matt Gage was a 10th round pick back in 2014 by the Giants, though he never made it to the bigs with San Francisco. Didn't make his major league debut until 2022 with the Blue Jays. Then played in 2023 with the Astros. Then did not play in 2024 in the majors. Then in 2025 played for the Tigers. And then was signed partway through from the Tigers eventually by the Giants. So he's back to where he started, actually. So Matt Gage is... Come on, Baseball Savant. You can do it. I know you can load. I know you can load. I know you can load. Come on. Matt Gage is a lefty. Throws a slider, four-seamer, changeup, and sinker. Primarily a slider to lefties. Like almost entirely a slider to lefties. Primarily a slider just in general. Throws a four-seamer more so to righties. And less so to lefties. Does not throw the sinker at all to righties. I mean, barely throws it all, period, to lefties. So there's... He's got some good numbers. Does not have an ERA at the moment, or in the sense has a 0 ERA at the moment through 6 games pitched. Also has a win. 6.1 innings pitched, so he's off to a good start so far in 2026. Ryan Mountcastle is actually going to pinch hit for Dylan Beavers. So both managers pulling the matchup card at the moment, though I think also just pulling Brubaker because he thrown back-to-back walks certainly is part of the reason as well. But Alvarez plays the matchup game, getting a righty against the lefty, taking out the lefty Beavers for the righty Mountcastle. So pinch hit here for the Orioles. First pitch to Mountcastle is in there, called strike one on the slider. Just kind of clips the outside part of the zone. Does get the strike though. It's Mountcastle down on the count. So 2 on, 2 out, down 5, bottom of the 8th. Really the one big chance the O's have at the moment, as Mountcastle will sky this one high into the air. This will not do it unless Jung Hoo Lee makes a very boneheaded mistake, and he does not. So that is quick pitch out for Matt Gage. Gets out of the jam. Orioles get nothing again, as I expected, if I'm being honest. I don't think Mountcastle's long for the Orioles, and that pinch hit did absolutely nothing. So it would be Leody Taveras, Jeremiah Jackson, Blaze Alexander, depending on how pinch hitting would work for the bottom of the 9th. And probably going to be Albert Torres again in the top of the 9th, just to round out a very disappointing game for the Orioles. I mean, Shane Baz was fine. I think he's going to be the winning or the losing pitcher, but he got basically no run support. The offense was really bad tonight. Outside of Adley and Leody, it's been nothing at all. So I guess my record for Friday game is going to be 1-2 at this point. And we got Mara Jade Discourse on Star Wars Twitter, which is always fun. Because, you know, the worst people out there are going to, well, in the sense of the worst parts of the Star Wars fandom are always going to come out when Legends comes up and it's like, Disney ruined everything. Yeah, it's not my Star Wars. Yeah. If you can't tell, I don't like that part of the fandom. It's just really, really annoying. Yeah, I just like, I get that Disney Star Wars has not been as good as the highs of Legends Star Wars. You know, the sequel trilogy was definitely a disappointment. Though, you know, it's like Andor is really good, Rogue One was really good, Solo was not bad as well. But it's just there's some of those people can be incredibly insufferable. Colton Cowser is, I guess he's filling in for Mountcastle, since Mountcastle's not an outfielder. So first pitch to Arias is called strike one on a fastball that's kind of outside. But yeah, so basically, Cowser is basically replacing Dylan Beavers in the outfield, since Mountcastle is not an outfielder. So that makes sense there. As far as next pitch is grounded over to Gunnar Henderson at short. That is out number 1 from Luis Arias. Henderson shaded more towards the bag at second. Nice play there. So Rays are beating the Yankees though. I'll take that. Any day the Yankees lose is a good day for America. So I need the Rays to keep winning, essentially. They did win. They had game 1 final, 5-3. There's a single there from Matt Chapman, just over the head of Gunnar Henderson on the first pitch. So Matt Chapman having a nice night. 2 for 4. That will bring up Rafael Devers, who's not having a good night, in either the at bat or in the field as well. So it's a fastball that is up above the zone, actually, but Chapman goes up and gets it. Might have been a cut fastball, actually. No, it was a regular fastball, or a four-seamer. So I had a couple of games to a finals, actually. Devers will look at a curveball in the dirt. Good block by Rushman to save that there. So the Royals beat the White Sox 2-0. Rays beat the Yankees 5-3. A's beat the Mets 4-0. And those are the only games that have gone final that had not gone final before. Red Sox and Cardinals are tied at 2. Braves up 11-5 over the Guardians. Nats and Brewers actually tied now 3-3. Next pitch, Devers is knocked high over into right field. That is caught on a line, actually, not quite as high as I was expecting off the bat. So line out for Devers over to Colton Cowser in right. Quick out number 2 there. So I'll take that at least. That will bring up Casey Schmidt, who's having an incredible day. 3 doubles already. RBI as well. So he's kind of been the MVP of the game tonight. Casey Schmidt. 3 for 4 on the night with 3 doubles. First pitch from Suarez is check swing. Does he go around? Yes, he does on the curveball. So strike 1 there. So Orioles probably not going to win this one unless they have a magical comeback in the 9th. Suarez will throw a fastball that is check swing foul, strike 2 from Casey Schmidt. Look to bounce back tomorrow. So they play 3 games against the Giants. Who else? I keep forgetting who they play after this, but I think it's another West Coast team. I know it's home after this. It is the Diamondbacks. Yeah, I knew it was another NL West team. They play Diamondbacks after this. I think they just play 6 straight. There's a fastball that is high from Suarez, 1 and 2. Yeah, so 3 against the Giants, 3 against the D-backs. Then they have a break, and then they play the Guardians in Cleveland, I believe, after that. So 1-2 from Suarez to Schmidt is popped high in the air and foul behind home plate. Out of play we go again. As the Giants are down to their last batter pending extra innings. In the sense of if Schmidt were to get out, they would be done for the night. Again, unless they go to extras, but that will require the Orioles to actually remember how to hit a baseball again. Which has been not happening tonight so far. Schmidt will swing through a curveball for strike 3. So Suarez, so the Orioles bullpen, 2 out of 3 have pitched well. 2 of the 3 have pitched well. Yennier Cano and Suarez both pitched pretty good. Both did not give up a run in their 3 combined innings pitched. Nick Roque, on the other hand, did not pitch well. So again, another pitcher for the Giants. It'll be Tidwell. What is your first name? Because I don't know who you are. Off the top of my head, Blade Tidwell. That is a great name. Was acquired in a trade from the New York Mets back in 2025. So I guess at the deadline last year. Blade Tidwell. 2001. It's a young guy. Was second round pick in 2022 by the Mets. Made his debut with the Mets in 2025. Then I guess was traded at the deadline. When the Giants traded away Tyler Rogers to the Mets, who's now on the Blue Jays. The Mets did not have a very good trade deadline last year. And Tidwell, who was recalled up back to the majors 8 days ago, is pitching now. Since it's not a save situation here. 5 runs. Blade Tidwell. Throws 4-seamer, sweeper, slider, sinker, changeup. Barely throws a changeup at all. It's mostly 4-seamer and sweeper. Between those two, that is 87% of his pitches are 4-seamers and sweepers, so pretty much a two-pitch mix for him. Occasionally throws a slider to righties. And then we'll randomly mix a sinker and a changeup in there when he wants, but don't think he's pitched in the majors yet. Maybe he has. Apparently he's recorded a save in 2026. Hang on. Blade Tidwell. Have you played at all this season? Yeah, played in 3 games. Does have a nothing ERA. I guess he does have a save, so Interesting. But he was recalled. I don't know. Whatever. Tidwell working against Leody Taveras, who's 2 for 3 on the night. Takes first pitch strike on a fastball. Right down the middle. 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. Has not given up a run yet through 5 innings pitched. Swing and a miss from Taveras. Strike 2 on the sweeper. So Leody, 2 for 3, has the lone RBI for the Orioles. But that seems like a lifetime ago. Nobody on base at the moment. 0-2 here. Leody goes fishing. Strike 3 on the sweeper. That was... Oh, hang on a minute. I think they're saying it hit the ground before it was caught by Bailey, so I think it was a foul tip. It was... Oh, it was actually in the... I guess it was a foul tip, and it hit the dirt slightly before. It didn't look like Taveras got any contact, but I guess he did. So Taveras is actually still alive at the moment. Still 0-2. Next pitch is high, knocked up and out of play, foul on a fastball. So Taveras once again stays alive. I've only seen 1 ABS challenge of this game. That was a successful overturn by Luis Ariz, I believe. Back in the 7th inning, I'm pretty sure is when it was. Orioles have not challenged this game. The 0-2 to Taveras again is grounded over to first base. Devers fields it cleanly, flips it over to Tidwell, and that is out number 1. So game's almost done now. Almost over with this mess of a game. So are we going to get a pinch hitter, or are we just going to get Jeremiah Jackson? I'm curious. Showing Craig Albernaz, who is looking very stoically at the moment from the dugout. It is just going to be Jeremiah Jackson, who's 0 for 3 in the night. He will look at ball 1 on a fastball out and away and down and just not in the zone at all. Just nowhere close to the zone. Right, now they're showing Albie his stats. So Ray's minor league coach and manager from 2015 to 2019, was the Giants bullpen and catching coach from 2020 to 2023, and the Guardians hitting coach after that. Strike 1 to Jeremiah Jackson on a slider. So I think he was Guardians hitting coach from 2024-2025. So Jackson did reach on an error on that Rafael Devers error last time he was up. Will ground this one over through the third base side in between Chapman and Adames. So there's a hit. First hit for the Orioles in a good bit. First hit that is not from Taveras or Rutschman. So single for Jeremiah Jackson. Keeps the Orioles alive for the moment. And bring up Blaze Alexander unless we get a Kobe Mayo pinch hit, which I don't think we will, but I mean, who knows? But yeah, just splits the gap between Chapman and Adames. Gives Jackson a hit here in the bottom of the 9th. Blaze Alexander, who's over 3, will swing through a slider for strike 1. Alexander did ground into a double play last time he was up, so don't like that precedent. I do like Blaze Alexander. I think he's good. He's got really good defense. It's not a good night for him at the plate tonight. Swings through a fastball there for strike 2. 98. Wow. Velocity ticks up there for Tidwell here in the 9th. Couple swing strikes against Blaze Alexander here. After him, it will turn back over the top of the order and Gunnar Henderson, unless we have a double play. So 0-2 to Alexander. Swings through another fastball up above the zone for strike number 3. So strikeout there for Blaze Alexander. He goes 0 for 4. So the Orioles down to the last out. Need 5 to tie, 6 to win, and can't get out anymore. Gunnar Henderson's up to try and keep this game alive. Does not have a hit in this game. Does have a walk. 0 for 3 with a walk, to be specific. Will knock this one high in the air, out into right field. That is going to be 2 runs. Out into the flag court. Gunnar Henderson, 2-run shot. At least makes this game interesting. So 2-run homer for Gunnar Henderson. That was gone off the bat. Henderson loves his first pitch homers. So, again, they're not winning this game. I don't have any confidence that the Orioles are going to win this game, but it's not over yet. Do love seeing that though from Gunnar Henderson. Do love that a lot. I wish I could be more excited because I just don't have any confidence in the team at the moment. Because it's a 5-run deficit with 2 outs. It's hard to come back from that. But do love Gunnar Henderson homers. Taylor Ward's up. We'll look at a first pitch strike on a slider. That was first pitch, fastball, middle, pretty much. Henderson just knocks that one out of the park. That one was gone immediately. Ward looks at ball 1 on a slider out and away. Looking to get on base for the first time tonight. Again, his on-base streak is on the line, was an 11-game on-base streak. Basically every game after the first game he got on base. Takes ball 2 there on a fastball that runs inside. After Ward would be Rutschman, then after Rutschman would be Alonso. So theoretically, Ward and Rutschman get on base. Alonso could be the tying run. Ward will knock this one over into right field. That is down for a base hit. Ward's going to race over to second base. Jung-Hoo Lee gets it in. So Orioles not done yet somehow. If I keep being pessimistic, maybe they'll keep hitting. So Ward keeps his on-base streak alive. That brings up Adley Rutschman, who is actually one of the guys. It's going to be really sad if Rutschman, who has been one of the guys who's been hitting, is the one to get the final out. But hey, I'll take putting up a fight in the end at least. Like they're at least not going completely out like a wet fart. So the dugout's cheering him on. Rutschman up to the plate now. We'll get a mound visit here from the Giants. I think the pitching coach is on there. So Tidwell not having his best night at the moment, but did have a very cushy lead. So he's still certainly in line to close this game out. So Ward on second. Rutschman at the plate. Pete Alonso, the tying run, is on deck. I have no idea who the Giants closer is, by the way, so I don't know if Tidwell is the Giants closer or not, but I don't think he is. But yeah, Rutschman will look at ball 1, or no, sorry. We'll look at the first pitch, strike 1. I don't know why I said ball 1. That was well in the strike zone on a slider. He looked at the first ball he saw. That was strike 1. So Rutschman 3 for 4 on the night, 2 doubles. We'll knock this one high in the air. That will do it, unless we get a drop from Willie Adames. And that is end of the game. So the Orioles make it fun, at least in the 9th inning. But in the end, they lose game 1 of the series 6-3 against the San Francisco Giants. So Shane Baz is the losing pitcher, which I feel like he shouldn't be because it's 3 runs that the Orioles put up. But I guess not. I don't know. Roop gets the win there. It's like, I don't know, because it's the Orioles put up 3 runs and Baz only gave up 3 runs, so like he can't lose if he give up 3 runs as a pitcher. And I don't know. I don't get how that stuff scored. But yeah, so Orioles dropped the game there, dropped to 6-7. Giants advanced to 6-8. And they'll play tomorrow. What time do they play tomorrow? Actually, I don't know. What time do they play tomorrow? Let me check. 7:15, so same time tomorrow, actually. These teams play, and then Sunday they play a day game, I assume. 1:35, yes. So hopefully the Orioles can get one back against the Giants there. But that will do it. Oops, sorry, I kind of just didn't mean to minimize that there. But yeah, let me just do the scoreboard here to end this off. So yeah, 3-3 Nats Brewers, 3-2 Cardinals Red Sox, nothing, Rockies Padres, Mariners up 3-0 against the Astros. Of course, I picked up Imai and he's already stinking it up. That's awesome. I didn't pick him up last time when he pitched well, and I had him the first time when he pitched a stinker, so that's whatever. Pirates up, yeah. So Pirates won 2-0, Diamondbacks won 5-4. Tigers won 2-0, Angels won 10-2, Blue Jays won 10-4, A's won 4-0, Rays 5-3, Braves 11-5, Giants 6-3, Royals 2-0. That will do it for tonight's edition of Friday Night Baseball. with the Orioles. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know why I did that. I feel like I did the same thing last night with my stream there. But so yeah, obviously next week will be more Orioles with the... Who do they play next week, actually, on Saturday? It might be Guardians. It might be that third game, like second or third game of that Guardians series. If not, it is the team after it. But hang on, I clicked the wrong thing. I need to go to the Orioles. O's play next Friday against the Guardians. There'll be game 2 of 4 against the Guardians next week. That'll be at 6:10 next week. So tune into that. Then after that would be the Red Sox. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one. 2 weeks from now. But next Thursday will be wrapping up Super Metroid. I think that's the plan on next Thursday. Since I'm basically doing the final item run. I need to get items in Brinstar and Meridia and maybe Criteria in the wreck ship, but I think I got all the items there. It's mostly Brinstar and Meridia because I got all the ones in Norfair, and then onto Toria to fight Mother Brain. So almost done with Super Metroid. And then next, so 2 weeks from Thursday, so the 23rd, instead of a gaming stream, that will be the first round of the NFL draft. I'm going to be streaming that, and I'm very excited for that. So tune in for more stuff. I'm going to try and get some more long form videos out in the coming weeks or so, if I can get around to editing them. But yeah, that will do it for this episode. Hopefully next week I can see an Orioles victory again. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.